folks.
Howdy, folks. Welcome back to Mosaic Team 5, our original Starfinder campaign. I am Joe Treff, your GM this evening and most, and joining me are my friends Matt, Dan, Kara, Olive, and Ari. It feels much more intimate with the monitor.
Isn't it?
Yeah, it really does.
The body doubling's weirding me out, though.
Yeah. The body doubling?
Just like two of me.
Oh,
Can you believe it?
Gotcha.
There's two of me.
We should be so lucky. So we're going to play some Starfinder tonight, but before we do, a couple of quick announcements. First of all, give me just 1 second. And if you could let us know about the music, I'm always just adjusting the sound levels, and we're, I think, right about to where we want to be.
Till we start screaming.
A couple quick announcements. First of all, over the last weekend, Olive hosted us for a little group get-together to celebrate 2 years of playing Mosaic Team 5 over in Vermont. It was great. We're actually, I think, also getting right to the 2-year mark of our second D&D campaign, which is played on Friday, or actually, no, the year mark. That is played on Friday, so tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can join us for that when we face down an individual from somebody's family. We've been telling stories together since 2019, and so there is a tremendous number of sessions that are available on our YouTube at Albron RPG. Over 120 sessions of Campaign 1, more than a dozen one-shots, a pair of some shots, and then all 80 or something sessions of this original Starfinder campaign are at Albron RPG on YouTube. We have a 4-shot, a 3-shot, two 4-shots, and then a 3-shot that was not finished.
A two and
a half shot.
Two-thirds shots.
And then all that is at Albron RPG on YouTube, and we re-air all sessions there at noon and then 4:30 p.m. on Sunday. And I think that's all the announcements that we have. And so for that, we can get right into our session of Mosaic Team 5.
If we all
Mosaic Team 5.
Feels awful.
Last we played, you fought a living asteroid within the drift as it assailed a craft of legend, in fact, known to many gamblers that was transiting the drift with you. You were unable to save the crew, though you did make a valiant attempt, and the ship of legend was lost to myth. You did manage to escape to back channels of the drift and made your way to the Echo Mall. There you met Megan Mari. Huh?
Hey, Eclipse Mall.
You said the Echo Mall.
The Echo Mall.
Echo, you got a mall named after you.
It's true. It's just,
All the units.
it's just Echo. It's Echo's online store.
It's honestly just a warehouse.
That is how Echo's selling all of the loot that they're not using. That's the junk sell. Anyways, you escaped into back channels of the drift. You made your way to the Eclipse Mall, not the Echo Mall, and you met Megan Mari and reviewed their plans to go to Ara's Bay and spent a little bit of time in their condominium, now much less furnished. Bubbles and Echo had a meaningful moment for the very first time, actually talking rather than Bubbles monologuing at Echo, and Bubbles reflecting that perhaps they could work a little bit of a different, more or less than topical approach to meeting and learning more about all of the Mosaic Team 5 members. Gibbs, while everybody else shopped, you spent a tremendous amount of time and a not small amount of resources in painting your ship, hauling Starlight 40-gallon tubs of, not a sponsor, tubs of paint to your hangar bay and using your tiny paws and a single spray bottle to slowly, over the course of about 2 days, paint this entire thing. Making sure to include a gold tiger or panther, in somewhat realistic detail. For Gibbs, a masterpiece, truly.
Masterpiece.
You returned to the ship, and Shade and Spice made their way to the cockpit, and After a long time, finally, Spice, you spent some time using your telepathic powers to look past the elements of shade that were blocking some malfunctions, perhaps. With a 12
It
from
was so
both
sad.
of you.
It was bleak.
It was an unfortunate exercise in futility, though, Shade, you did learn that there were 3 missing modules within your brain. Missing memory cores or perhaps elements of something that once was. But with no further information available to you through this avenue, you decided to call your boss's boss's boss, Chief of Mission Control Orion Massacorp, and as you did so, he picked up after only a few rings. And as explosions of noise and chaos happen in the background, that is where we begin this evening. Give me just 1 second here.
While I'm, making the call, I want to say to Spice, I need you to pay attention to what he says,
I can't read minds from this far away.
but you can read intentions.
Yes, sir.
You are much better at that than I am. I need to know if he's telling us the truth.
Let me check my sense motive real quick. It's pretty good.
Cool.
Spice nods in
Is it
agreement.
better than a 0?
Yes, it is.
There we go.
All right.
So as you have this conversation, the communicator rings only a couple of times, and then there's this explosion of noise and chaos. You can hear the sound of a whole bunch of different people having conversations. There are people pointing at the dozens of screens that you could see kind of blurred behind you as the camera focuses in on this individual. You can see Orion Massacorp, the Chief Mission Control. They're a human. You can see their hairline is beginning to recede. They look to be maybe 40, although it's kind of hard to tell. They have brown eyes that are kind of squinting. They're deep crow's feet. They look really tired. They're wearing a shirt not dissimilar to Peeps, although you do see there are 2 gold chevrons on either shoulder, and it does seem to be a little bit more of a polished Mosaic outfit.
Ooh, rebrand?
There is actually a rebranding process, and so you can see more of that on Instagram when that comes out. We have 3 new logos that are going to be released. Thank you, Tira.
Wow.
Q3.
Yeah. We got cool stuff coming. This individual looks at all of you, or looks at the 2 of you rather, somewhat tired, but then directs their attention at you, Shade, and then says, Diplomatic Officer Shade, this better be important. We're very busy at the moment.
Captain Shade. Diplomatic Officer Spice.
Over here.
I apologize for intruding upon your busy schedule. We are about to undergo a potentially dangerous mission, and so I sought answers from you regarding a question that I brought up with Mission Coordinator Peep.
This is about your origin, correct?
Correct.
We really don't have a whole lot of information about that, and this really isn't pressing or about your mission, I don't think. But I did have our SR department go ahead and pull up some of the information that we have, and we have the brochure of the gentleman that we procured you from. We can send that over in just a little bit. Aside from that, there's not much we can tell you, unless there's other information you are after.
That is primarily what I was after. I also had some questions regarding recent events with the USR that I was hoping perhaps you could shed some light on.
Such as?
It appears as if something is happening within the USR that goes beyond what our stated missions have been for them.
That makes sense. They're a government. They have many things going on. We try not to concern ourselves too much with that.
Understood.
Anything else?
That is all.
Very well. Communicator goes dead.
Oh, fuck. I can't sense motive anything. Was there anything to sense motive? I'm all
Make a
ready.
sense motive check.
Okay.
Seems like he's a busy guy who doesn't have time for our shit.
27.
This is Peep's boss's boss, and so this is somebody who is immensely important in this organization and pretty busy, and he still took the time to answer your questions and to pull this file. And in fact, I would say probably at about that time as you're like looking at him and kind of thinking this, he says that he'll send this brochure over, and Shade, sure enough, You get a photocopy of a photocopy of a photocopy.
Oh, one of those.
And yeah, it looks like it came out of a personnel file that at one point was like faxed over from a previous employer, and you know, it's one of those. It's one of those things.
It's 2255.
Faxes are actually really handy in certain areas. Siren
Untraceable?
actually is a place where faxes are used.
No, they're super traceable. That's why they're handy.
Oh.
That's why hospitals still use them.
But more
the lawyer's
important,
offices.
you can still use them through direct lines, and that's really helpful in places with really, really high interference where you can't use communicators. But there's a few things, you know, that actually you use ground line communications for that are important.
Okay.
And actually, in the GPF, that's something that you would use quite often at a squad level.
Oh,
Proficient
shit.
in fax machines.
Yeah,
Because-
Spike, I'm going to add that to my proficiency.
Well, so no, not fax machines, but like general communications can be jammed, and so you want things that have hardline communications because those need to be physically removed, typically. And then there's countermeasures for that. Like there's a million things like that. Anyways,
Dope.
falling down a rabbit hole here. GPF Tactics Manual. You receive this communication, this photocopy of a photocopy of a photocopy. It seems to be very much just a brochure of a long-winded seller. Yeah, they seem to be a pretty interesting individual. And you can see more of that very long-winded brochure on Instagram when it goes up, probably sometime Saturday, Sunday at Albron RPG.
This guy seems like he's gonna be my friend.
Yeah, look at all
I'm
this.
also long-winded. I'm
you
not here.
can't see it,
I'm
but
not here.
yeah, I would say Shade kind of instinctually look at this and like, yeah, Gibbs would probably like this guy as you read down the list of things that he has
Amir?
available. Excuse me. So with that phone call out of the way, Spice, that's kind of all that you really get. I mean, they seem tired. They seem like they helped as much as they really could.
Okay.
But there's a lot going on. As far as the USR went, it seems like they were also telling the truth about that. There's some curiosity maybe, but they're very busy. And looking into this, you would imagine, is probably not something they can invest time in right now.
Fair. Okay.
But nothing suspicious, nothing like they're trying to like shoo you out of the way. They're helping as much as they
not, like,
can in the moment.
Hiding anything
Correct.
from us. Got it.
That was not as fruitful as I had hoped.
Bummer.
I understand that Chief Massacre is a very important and busy person.
We'll get him next time. She punches you in the shoulder.
Perhaps this file that he sent will be helpful.
I don't know. If you look at it, it seems pretty dizzying. This guy seems like he only knows to run on sentences.
And looking at this, I mean, there's something to be said for that. This is there's no sentence that really is fewer than probably 4
Is
or
there
5
even a
words.
period in this brochure?
There are at least 2.
Or a manifesto.
Yeah.
You know, it's different people, and you would imagine looking at this. I mean, maybe not human, given the sentence structure, given the way in which this information is conveyed.
Oh.
But
Can I have my exocortex run a check for Dotson salvage to see if there's like a known location for it and stuff?
Make a cultures check.
And while I'm doing that, I'm gonna say, thank you, Spice.
You're welcome.
It may not seem as if...
Oh, you should promote me.
It's not what I said.
That's how I interpreted
Is
it.
that a cultures check?
Yeah, cultures.
Oh, I didn't even notice.
That's what I was pointing out.
Nice. So that is a promotion.
When you look at the infosphere for Dotson, a bunch of things come up, and you can see this. First of all, this is a Yosoki. Absolutely, this is a Yosoki. When you look at the picture of them, they look maybe brown or gray depending on the picture, but their hair is almost always bristled into stiff spikes that look like they're coated in oil or grease of some kind. And you would recognize in the little bits and images that you can see, which is all people like taking pictures, they seem to be in the style almost of a slightly less threatening, slightly less smoke belching Seljun de May kind of setup. They have a mobile kind of marketplace that they move around, and people take pictures with all these little finds that they have, and in places you can see them in the background. You notice that they do carry tools of a mechanic, and so they probably have that in common with you. And I would say with that, because they travel, it's kind of hard to tell where they might be. The last time that I would say you probably don't even really find anything super recent.
Could I set my exocortex to take 20 to continue searching to try and triangulate based on like the backgrounds of the images where
Just from the tag, you could tell where each of these places are.
okay.
You just don't know if this is where
there's like
they
a,
are anymore.
right, because it's sort of like traveling, so it could be anywhere.
And with the drift especially. I mean,
Right.
you can be literally anywhere in a couple days.
I appreciate your assistance.
Spice does the USR salute. I don't know what it looks like. I only know the GPF one.
Just like that, yeah.
She does like butterfly fingers.
The USR is really all about flutes.
Yeah, okay.
It is known.
So, all of you are now aboard the ship. Is there anything else that you want to do at the Eclipse Mall, or are you getting ready to take off?
Stock up on fried food. Stock our fridge on real food, not food. The food printer doesn't take ink, right?
No, not strictly speaking. It's
Okay.
UPBs technically.
I already asked Meeg if she wanted to come with us, right? And she
Yeah.
said no.
No, they're moving. They have,
Okay.
they have some stuff to do.
Spice just looks at the boxes but doesn't help them. She's like watching them put boxes together but doesn't help.
Okay.
And then she like has a big long drawn out goodbye and everybody has to tear them blah blah blah.
No problem. They do show you that they are staying on the northeastern part of town in a section that is almost entirely large mansions and villas. You had not even gone into this section of town when you had been there last. The closest that you had gotten was probably roughly around where the different echo units had worked, actually.
Okay.
But still a little bit further north of that. Kind of, you had driven by that region on the way to the Constellation Boardwalk.
Okay.
Echo.
Is there a place to exchange currency at the Eclipse Mall?
Interestingly, there's not. It's almost like really hard currency is not used a lot. That's a specialty item.
I was gonna do that on Prime Station.
Yeah. Prime Station almost certainly would have had a place. In fact, I think you had encountered at least one.
The intent was to go do that.
It's okay, we got busy.
But things got bad.
You would really want to be in a
Things got
place that's like really broken down, a hollow shell of what it once had been. Maybe like kind of like a husk of a station zone.
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Joe.
You know, Zim Station might have it though. Zim Crawler.
Almost certainly.
Yeah, Echo
Great.
knows that. That's why Echo's just like, offload it soon.
You know who would probably be great at that?
Yeah, and Echo wants to offload it before they get there.
Fair enough. So what are you guys doing next?
So we're going to Mosaic, the zoo now. The zoo that Mosaic set up.
The Varium.
The Bavarian, which
I like
is
zoo. I mean, you know, zoo
yeah,
works.
the People Zoo.
The people zoo.
Crew. A vivarium is a
Fancy word for a zoo, I know. Thanks.
more elaborate than a zoo, but that's semantics.
Yeah, so that's where we're going, right? Look, I painted our ship. Look, I painted myself, and now Gibbs is a black rat.
Okay.
Cool.
Oh, I love your new hair dye.
Thanks.
Looks great, hun.
Yeah, it's a little sticky still, but
Why are we going to the Vivarium again?
because we're printing things. But then we're gonna go there and we're gonna have to wait more, right?
We're going to outfit our ship
Okay.
primarily.
Oh, right.
There are also facilities.
Because the
that we will
guns on
have
this
access
baby
to.
aren't that good, and she slaps the side of the director.
Yeah, maybe we'll get Are we done with looking for other alternatives for lockout ships? Has that ship passed?
There are no ships available in the Eclipse Mall, but it does seem that our best option is to go after those retired
And Echo, like, does.
GPF vessels.
I agree. But this is going to be dangerous. It is very likely that we will encounter GPF or USR.
Ew, gross.
Cool. So we're gonna go to Mosaic, outfit the ship. We've outfitted ourselves. Everyone's good and comfortable, and then we're gonna go.
That is the current plan.
Love it.
Is there anything else that we need to do before we take off?
No, I think I'm good.
Onward!
I would like to address the entire crew before we leave.
Oh no.
As you know, I have been having difficulties with personal issues.
In the bedroom. I don't know. Is that what he's implying?
I have discovered more information regarding this. However, it is not enough to resolve the potential hazards that come with this new knowledge, particularly as we enter a mission that may reveal more. Given what I do know about my history, as well as Spice and Echoes, we are entering very dangerous territory. It is even more important now that we stick together. All I ask is that you look out for each other.
Spice will look around and like nod at everybody in the circle.
Yes,
I am
Captain.
assuming it's a circular table or like an oval.
If the highest risk is erratic behavior, I mean, I've already got that covered. It's not a big deal.
That is not the highest risk.
I still trust you.
What are you gonna like backfire?
I do not know. You know as much as I do, Spice.
Yeah, that was. We saw some weird shit.
The not knowing's probably scary, but we'll just watch your symptoms progress. We'll deal with each thing as it comes up and keep an oil can on hand if we can.
That's not how that works.
No, but it's a metaphor for, I'm just saying, we'll help you deal with the problems as they show up. Whether or not you know it, or whether or not you change your behavior, we're gonna try.
That is all I ask.
Pause in!
Please do not reveal any information unnecessarily, especially now. There are people everywhere who will use it to hurt us. We can only rely on each other.
Sounds good. Secrets on 4.
Are you
I'm
counting
setting
or am I?
course.
Well, no one else put their hands in yet.
I know.
So I'm waiting.
It's just Spice and Gibbs like holding with their hands in the center of the table,
waiting. Just awkwardly waiting.
Yeah.
Bugs will put his hand in.
Yes. Yeah. We got one more.
We'll just make eye contact to Echo.
Fuck yeah. Yeah.
And then make eye contact to Shade.
Shade's gonna like light up a cigarette and then
We're all in this
The grumpy
together.
All right, 1, 2, 3, 4 secrets!
For secrets. Yay.
So, Mosaic Team 5, Secrets on 4, for some reason. You are united in your cause, take off from the Eclipse Mall and begin to make your way out. And Shade, are you going to drop into the drift?
do we have a beacon for the vivarium?
You do not.
Can you ask Director to help drive?
I mean, yeah, but
Is this the same mosaic though?
Maybe Director has a beacon.
I guess I would reach out to Peep to see if there's an update on the vivarium before we leave, because he said it was going to be ready in like 2 or 3 days.
So you make a quick call to Peep. And no problem. Yeah, Peep shows up very quickly on the screen. Let me change it.
Bring,
A little less dramatic. Maybe a little more dramatic. I don't know.
Dun, 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 dun.
What does our communicator sound like again?
Oh, the sound effects.
Right?
Yeah.
Something like that. I don't know. There it is.
Doo-doo.
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 It's like the warning. Shit's going down.
Low oxygen.
Low oxygen.
Peep,
I
take a
like
deep
cigarette
breath.
a lot.
You see the face of your white Yosoki chief mission coordinator, or sorry, senior mission coordinator, Peep. You can see the little yellow nose. He blinks a couple times, and the background that swims into view is a little bit different. You have not seen this previously. He currently is carrying something under his arm and looks at all of you and just goes,
What's in the background?
Hey, guys. Make a perception check.
Gladly.
Is he at the new station? Can I? Can
Make a
27.
perception check, yeah. With a 27, Gibbs, you look behind him and you can see... Very nice.
Nice.
You see briefly some laboratory equipment. You see what looks like some kind of something that you could maybe use as a centrifuge. And then as he kind of shifts around and out of sight, you see a little glass door with a brushed steel frame, and on it, brand new, etched into the glass, you can see Senior Mission Coordinator Peep. And
got
he
his
like
office.
pushes back through it, and he's holding his box, and you can see this really nice glass desk on stainless steel, and it looks like very thick kind of stuff. And as he puts the box down, it lights up, and the desk itself is like a screen. It's a very nice office. But he is clearly getting set up in it, and Gibbs, you see like all of these details. With a natural 20, you see as Peep sits down, he seems to like flip on a little screen, and in a brief moment, the camera shifts over and the resolution gets even better as like the call is picked up by his actual computer. But in that brief moment, you can see the light cast from the machine. There are security cameras also that are up on his monitor, and you briefly see what looks like maybe a large aquarium of some kind. You see trees in a different camera. You see what looks like perhaps sand in another. And in another, you see what looks like a very robotic looking bay with a bunch of moving arms and sparks and things like that. But then the screen kind of focuses back in on Peep in much sharper detail. And he looks at all of you and just says, "Hey, where are you guys?"
On the trip. On the
We
ship.
are heading out from the Eclipse Mall.
Okay. Where are you going next?
We were calling in to confirm that the Vivarium is ready for...
Yeah. This place is great. I have my own office, and it's big enough where I think pretty much I might even be able to ride my bike around in the hallway. I mean, not very fast or anything, but I don't want to go very fast. But this should be pretty good for all of you guys. There's something in here that when it's finally finished, it will be able to print grenades between rounds. We should be able to manufacture certain qualities of weapons. There's a few other cool things too. Oh, and Ife's here. And I guess is going to be running some of the logistics and also selling bread.
Yay!
I'm kind of confused on that. I don't really understand.
Can we put in an order for like 10 loaves, please?
You'd have to kind of talk to Ify about
You
that.
can't send a memo?
I'll try.
Ride down the hall, enjoy your freedom, and order some bread, please.
I'm the senior mission coordinator, and so make a diplomacy check.
Be free to go do the shit.
Ah,
I tell you to do.
Fuck yes!
Pretty high roll, not gonna lie.
Yes, Pete. Use your freedom to go do
29.
my
Yeah,
errands.
the irony wasn't lost on me.
I'll do that later. Okay?
Yeah! Gibbs stops pouting and moves on with the conversation.
You may wish to invest in a hefty supply of isopropyl alcohol.
There's a lot of that here. There's a whole laboratory. This place is, I guess it was some kind of a lab or something like that. It's weird. There's Mosaic here, but it's an acronym maybe because there's little dots between each thing. I don't really know what it means, but yeah, this is the Mosaic Vivarium. And have you guys, do you know how to get here?
Can you give us a drift beacon?
I can give you the coordinates. Yeah, hang on. And a couple seconds go by, and then you get
Is the ship part printer
the
done?
coordinates. Say again?
Ship part printer done?
A ship part printer?
Aren't you? We're coming here for ship parts. You got ship parts?
I not
Not a
Right
ship
now?
printer. We are going to outfit the ship, given the unique nature of the director.
Does
It
the
does not
vivarium
take
have ship part?
typical parts?
Right. Sorry, so we're
Can
going.
you print guns for our ship?
I don't think so. I mean, maybe like personal defense stuff that you guys could use, but it's not really designed for big things like that.
Oh.
But it works really quick. So between missions, I think you guys can stop off here and get some items if you're falling behind a little bit.
Got it.
Like Gibbs, you probably could use some better armor.
I could.
Yeah.
So we're outfitting the ship and picking up armor?
Where are you outfitting the ship?
That's why I'm confused.
Oh, me
'Cause
too.
we thought it was with you, but you say no, so maybe here?
We will need to find an alternative.
Okay.
Glad we called ahead. Glad you're there.
I mean, maybe it's something that's going to happen in the Central Bay. I just kind of got here. I can look around, but I haven't seen anything that I think could print out a whole ship. There's some scorpions.
Echo steps away and like goes into the adjoining hallway and
Sure.
just like mutes the the comm to ask the director.
Did you intend to be modified at the vivarium?
Again, there are certain material elements that will be required for these modifications.
And we do not have those materials.
Regrettably, Siren Sapphires were not acquired while at Siren.
Understood.
I can feel the director glaring at Echo.
And Echo goes back to the cockpit and like just kind of like
The
texts Shane
director
to be like, we can't.
The director says, Siren Sapphires are known to be some of the most focused laser crystals in the world. This is something that would have provided a powerful weapon, perhaps more powerful than something available to the military.
It's still in space.
Out there somewhere.
Thought we were getting defensive stuff.
Yeah, I was confused because I thought it only did us stuff. So I lost the thread on the ship stuff and why we were going there to do ship
The
stuff.
androids were of one mind.
Okay.
And that mind was wrong.
Okay, glad I asked because I was very confused.
The other thing to
what
think
we were
about
doing.
is you did get contact with the Harbinger individual who said he could get you stuff. You just needed to let him know what.
But it's expensive.
It is-
It's
I mean,
four
it's-
times.
it's
or
at
something?
it's more expensive for sure.
And we have to also get
To do it quickly. If
Echo
you're-
also tried to research what modifications they could get, and they rolled poorly.
Right. Okay. So with the information we have, is the new plan just go to the vivarium, pick up Gibbs armor, and then go on?
We
Or-
will go to the vivarium, find out what we can, see what we have available to us at the facilities, and then make a plan from there. We may need to find alternatives to outfit our ship.
Cool. Can't wait to see ya.
Yeah, no, you guys too. What do you need for the ship?
Guns.
Primarily defensive
Okay.
mechanisms.
Siren Sapphires.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think that's something. I don't know what that is. But if you need guns, could you just let me know like roughly the size, the type? I mean, any information more than just guns would be great, and then we could place an order for you guys and just get them requisitioned. Again, my job as your mission coordinator is to do stuff like that.
We require some sort of sensor array that will be more functional than the one we currently have,
Okay.
as well as a heavy-hitting weapon. The one we have at the moment is mostly useful for destroying space debris, and not for destroying large man-eating asteroids.
Yeah. No. Definitely. What?
Yeah.
Do not worry.
We didn't get eaten.
We're here now, but you know the Violet song? It's A, it's real, and then B, it's not anymore.
I don't know any of that.
I
Okay.
will
Right,
be
you don't
updating
gamble.
you
Okay.
with a weekly report.
There's a point during all of our calls where things just stop making sense to me.
You should come on our missions.
I
No,
did one time.
no.
I apologize for
No.
not sending the report over before calling.
That's okay. Look, we can get you stuff again, like almost anything else. It will take a little bit of time if you need it right away. What do you need this for? What are you planning on doing next, anyways?
Our intention is to head to the Zen Crawler. We are going after Hardcore Henry.
weren't we gonna try to find some ships first in the
yeah.
planetary system of OS
Yes.
14? Or RP?
We've been told that there are derelict ships belonging to the GPF that have been abandoned.
The GPF, like the General Protectorate Force?
Correct.
Like the military?
Correct.
And you're looking for starship weapons?
We're looking for starships for a lockout tournament.
And starship weapons.
Unrelated. Two separate tracks.
I mean,
Very related.
I don't know if you guys know this about military craft, but they have starship weapons on them. And so you might be able to do both of these things at once.
Yes.
Okay.
The lockout ships are separate from our own ship's defenses.
Right, but they're still ships, right?
We would need something much more powerful than what they are able to provide if we are to engage in any forces that might prevent us from acquiring these small vessels.
Well, what kind of weapons do they have?
Unknown.
Well,
And
then how do you know
we,
that?
we think that these ships, from what we were told by...
They
the
are high-level fighter quality ships.
But also, the problem is in order to get those ships, we're worried our current guns aren't good enough. So we wanted to upgrade our guns and then go get the ships.
We were
Okay.
informed by the USR of the location of these ships. However, given the current situation with the USR and GPF, it is highly likely that the ships were not left there without intent.
I'm very confused. You said they were derelict.
Derelict is not quite correct. Abandoned.
That
Under
is a more
suspicious
apt term.
circumstances.
And the GPF are still kind of looking for them.
But you know where they are? You have a coordinate?
We have
a
contact.
This seems like you guys should be
approximation.
using time as opposed to firepower. Because if you get there fast enough, maybe there won't be anybody there. Because if they're still looking, they don't know where it is.
That's a really great point. That's a really good idea.
But have you guys considered maybe going there first and then coming back to the vivarium if it doesn't work out and we can figure something out different?
But if we have GPF ships, are we going to be even welcome back to the vivarium?
I mean, this is our company.
Yeah, we're doing it for a bounty. It's company property once we
Yeah,
touch
but we're
it.
going to show up in a squad of GPF ships.
It's finders keepers.
We have
It'll
a
be
big
GPF.
hangar, and so we can do some modifications here, but definitely
Okay,
don't
okay.
get
This
caught.
is USR
Okay,
sanctioned
okay.
mission.
Spice, out of anybody, you of all people should be excited to do this.
Ooh, I love fucking with the GPF. You know me.
Based on the paperwork that I have here, you guys are basically sanctioned by the government to do crime
Yes! Yes!
in a limited scope. Okay,
I don't know.
this isn't
Limited
about
is a word I don't understand.
Shade. Please watch Spice.
Just a quick question. So if we get these derelict ships, and we say we can't get them working or something, how are we? You know, our cargo bay is pretty big, but I don't know if we can fit all those ships in our cargo bay. Could we like get a tether or something?
I mean, you have an ex-GPF pilot and you have an incredible mechanic in Shade, so I would hope that you can get a starship going. But, I mean, in that case, like I said, you could come back and maybe we could print out like some kind of a tug or something like that.
The director also has autopiloting capabilities. And I don't know about you, but Shade and Spice are not the only pilots. As I keep attempting to
It's
remind
me!
everyone.
I'm the third!
Also, that's oh my god.
The director also, at this point, you see the little blue light that indicates that they're active and to chime on. And the director says, I am able to slave up to 10 additional craft to follow me, both in drift travel and to a limited extent in localized systems, so long as there is not evasive maneuver required.
Amazing.
So if
As
that
long as we can get the ships
Yeah.
operational, then the director will be able to handle the rest.
okay, that makes sense.
Do we have basic repair tools needed on
Yeah.
the ship?
You have more than basic repair tools. You have a full repair engineering bay again.
And I
we do
got
again.
And a bot.
Some,
And a bot.
And
Yeah,
I have,
you have a 30
I have
bot.
like all the kits.
I have that tethered to that long
Yep,
aluminum.
that's
I don't know-
true.
I don't
It's
know if that
it's not even aluminum. It's
Carbon
whatever,
fiber.
Yeah, it's way nicer.
Well, it appears that we should get on our way to retrieving these vessels.
We solved our problems with a phone call.
Isn't
So
it
not
wonderful what
Vivarium.
communication can do for us?
So no vivarium.
We don't need to.
We will contact you after we've discovered the ships.
Okay, and again, you don't have to do anything. You can go and see what's going on and then come back. You're not really locked into doing anything. Just be smart about whatever it is you do. Okay?
But soon we'll be locked out.
What?
Ships.
Do you guys need another key?
Shade out.
Love you! Everybody laughed.
The entire campaign. You hang up on me.
And Shade's gonna go to the cockpit to go
problem.
put in.
You
We
turn
didn't-
around
we didn't get
360
direct
degrees
coordinates,
and you are
right?
still
We
in
got
the
coordinates
cockpit.
to the system, at
Right.
least, right? Or the plane.
No, you got direct coordinates. So
It's
you.
on like in an asteroid.
It's actually so interestingly, you've got the correct coordinates 3 times now, and you would imagine in about 20 minutes you'll get pinged with them again because this is moving. This is a rogue planet. It is not bound to a system. It is just hurtling through space.
Yeah.
And these are on the planet?
It's on an asteroid.
There is-
like within the.
The rogue planet.
There is a transponder that they have locked onto on the surface of this asteroid, at least one.
Setting coordinates for there.
Asteroid is a good way of looking at it. It's technically it's a rogue planet.
Okay, just to get my story straight. So
RP 32490A-143, or yeah.
we're going into GPF territory to grab these ships.
It's
This
unclaimed
is-
territory.
Okay.
It's a rogue planet, which means it's not in anything's gravitational pull. It's not in an orbit. It's
Okay.
just floating off into
It's just kind of-
space untethered.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we are
until it
going to get vessels
in.
that seem to have been lost and or abandoned there
We do not know if there are people with the vessels,
Okay.
or if the vessels are being monitored.
Okay.
Excellent
Okay.
summary, yeah. Good.
The small fighter ship that we have would be harder to pick up on sensors, right?
Your shuttle, not a fighter
our
craft.
shuttle.
gonna
Sorry,
say,
not our fighter
It
craft.
has very
the-
limited fire.
yeah, the
That would be like
GPS.
Shade, like
Having
leaning on
fun
a
with
minivan
Yeah.
going. The speed machine could do it, right?
But only the two of us, 2.5 can fit in that.
No,
Yeah,
that's
you
the
can all
one.
fit.
No, it's the one that Meeg and Mari left us when they escaped.
Right,
from
the purple one?
Perdido.
No,
it's a
it's a
new
blue
one,
one.
and it's
the
larger.
one
It's like a
That's the size of it. That's the
envoy.
exact
Yeah,
thing. That
it's
you
like a
have.
shuttle for like a unit.
Stuff.
Yeah.
Cool.
This is the thing that Echo
that would
piloted
be-
at Siren.
Nice.
less susceptible to being picked up on sensors, right?
You would imagine, yeah.
Okay. Cool. Gonna use
How
that.
long is the coordinates to Rogue Planet?
So are you dropping into the drift?
Yes.
Roll that dice.
Nice.
Roll the nice
you
dice.
Pull the
Roll
lever.
the drift dice.
Pull the lever, Crunk.
You drop into the drift. Reality fades away around you and is replaced, instead of stars, by the dark interstitial space.
Maybe for the first time ever.
And you see, as the drift looms up around you, 23 hours. As you begin to count down.
it! Wow.
Only a day's
It
trek.
is complete chance.
I think there's some skill there, and you're getting better.
This is the least skilled element of piloting.
Well, you're
Literally.
so far so good.
Shade, you have reduced your piloting time on average by 66% in the last 3 jumps.
See? And you parallel parked like a boss when we went to Eclipse Mall.
Indeed, the amount of time we have spent in the drift on individual travel sessions has been longer than average. And now, it is not.
Yes.
Shade, you feel the time ticking by very slow. But for the rest of you, is there anything that you want to do in this day that you have before you reach the end of your trip?
My plan is to get us near the planet, or the planetoid, I guess, and then basically like put the director in sleep mode so we can do recon in the smaller vessel.
Sure.
And not get into danger if avoidable.
Sure.
And kind of scope out the place first.
Yeah, that makes sense to me.
So yeah.
So basically,
Making
drop from the
necessary
drift, go
preparations to do
quiet
that.
as you do so.
Yeah.
Sure.
And then like send out the recon shuttle to
Okay.
like look for the actual, because presumably it's either a crash
Before
or
then,
it's like,
though, the 24 hours leading up to it, anything that you guys want to do? Echo.
Echo wants to make sure that all of the air tanks are full for spacewalks. Everyone's got like full clips. The shuttle is fully refueled. Making sure that everything is like in tip-top shape. That the drone is loaded onto the shuttle so that we can have a better overall view.
Okay.
The remote echo system is also on mildly on board
Oh
the shuttle.
shit, I forgot
Okay.
about the Echo remote.
It's so the operative mode is integrated into the Directive Zero. So you.
Well, there was a pack or
Oh,
something that Echo had to wear.
Yeah. Okay, I got you.
Echo wants to make sure the Voltron pack is
No
on the
problem.
shuttle.
Your Voltron pack is on the
have
shuttle.
like a fighting robot guy?
Yeah,
That's
that's
the
a different
riot.
drone.
Are
That's
we
what.
bringing that?
no, that's basically what has been our ship defenses
Alright.
Yeah.
for like
Plus good.
intruders and stuff.
And we don't.
Squeak.
It's
we don't wanna
It's Bub's
take
Light.
up the space on the shuttle with everything else Echo's already loading it up with.
So no problem. You spend that day going about, moving through the ship, making sure that everything is as it should be. In the course of your time at the Eclipse Mall, things were refueled, things were repaired. You can see that the repair drone that you have on your ship has done a little bit of work to the shuttle, and it's had some of the kind of superficial damage done to it over your many adventures. As much as can be removed. Some of the stuff just can't quite be buffed out. That's more of like a shop job.
I have heard that you have to pour hot water over it.
And use a suction cup.
I do think I can make a gun for the shuttle, because I think I have to check what the cost is, but I think I can
I'm pretty sure
make one.
you can. It would be a little bit of a larger project, but you certainly could.
Well, I
Sounds
think
like a lot of
because
UPVs.
well,
Yeah.
it is, but it's probably worth it to have at least some firepower. I'm gonna look and see I guess I won't do it in this 24-hour period.
No, definitely.
I mean, I think rules as written, I can, because my engineering time is basically 25% of what it usually is, and it's like an hour per level to craft something.
Yeah.
So
I think with it being a starship weapon.
Right. That's the thing, is I haven't looked. I don't know if there's a conversion for doing starship weapons and stuff, but for weapons and armor, that's the engineering stuff.
Yeah. So I'll
think
take a
it's
look
just
at
a
it, but I
different check.
think it's a little bit longer.
Yeah. But it's also like the UPP cost right now. I'd have to probably get rid of all the stuff that I just built.
Gibbs, anything you're doing?
Gibbs is crafting.
Okay.
If I don't have them, binoculars.
Oh, you can have mine.
You have binoculars?
I do have binoculars.
Dope. Then you see me like start to like gnaw the bottom of Coke bottles, like glass bottles out, and you're like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "Making binoculars," and I've got like a pair of glasses, and you're like,
A little bit of blood coming out of your
I
mouth.
definitely, I have those because it's like the B is like very high up on the alphabetical inventory
also like
list, and I have
don't
those.
need
have
them probably because you have cybernetic eyes now.
I don't, and my understanding is we are literally looking for something on a planet, and I'm like, this is my solution for this.
Gibbs is proud.
Echo's like, we need to find a sensor array for the director, and we need
got
to
it.
make sure the drone's all set up. And Gibbs like,
Yep. On it.
sensor array activate.
Yeah,
Gots
I'm the
better.
sensor. It's my sense motive so fucking high, I'm gonna sense these ships out.
Damn. Okay, no problem.
That's
Can do
my
that.
prep.
Spice, are you doing anything to get ready?
Spice goes into the armory with Bubbles and just locks the door behind her.
Okay. No problem.
Bugs
So,
has free time.
In the drift.
so combat practice
Yeah.
prior to this mission.
I do not think we will be encountering any hand-to-hand combat, but they seem to be practicing nonetheless.
There's a lot of noise coming from there. And
I'll spar with
Bubbles
you if you're
seems to be in
jealous.
pain. But
Oh, stop!
Don't do that
oh
again.
man, that hurt my soul. Woof, wow.
Too horny in here.
Oh god.
Every day.
Oh, every day. So, the hours tick down. No roll required. You all compete.
know.
You all compete your carousing activities.
I dropped my.
Shade turns the music up in the cockpit a little louder.
What does Shade listen to when he's driving?
Oh, man.
Shade has a playlist.
And
Can't we like courtesy be like
It's
soundproof the
available.
room director? I feel like we would have the wherewithal.
The armory
to
is
do
the
that.
most echoey place.
Yeah, it's literally just like
also, like,
raw
so
metal.
central.
That's why Bubbles took it. It's just a mattress in the armory still.
Ew.
But
Disgusting.
anyway.
you can always borrow my dumpster and then
The
look at
time
my lid.
ticks down, and before too long, you drop out of the drift. There is a very easy trip, as Shade only had a single day, and so no trouble befalls you. You drop out, and in front of you, very quickly picking up on the sensors, is Rogue Planet 32490A-143. It reads as all question marks and then quickly picks up that ping from your USR information. You can see as these scanners flicker to life and begin to read information, this is a ball of cold rock and stone. There is not a whole. What was that?
Rock and stone. It's a Deep Galactic joke. You said I just. What you said, I was like, rock and stone.
It's off the rails.
You can see that this rogue planet is a cold one of rock and stone, and even so, the sensors are reading that there is something beneath the surface that is bubbling,
Like lava?
like life.
Life below the surface? Like centipedes or like Yosokis?
Like plants, maybe, like really kind of lower level life. Go ahead and make a
Yosoki.
life sciences check.
Nice. Life sciences, 14.
14. With the 14, you're really just reading that there is life. There's, oxygen. There is the signs of life being around. There are complex amino acids that wouldn't exist if there wasn't at least some higher level organism. So there's not just plants, but that's all that you can really kind of get. You don't see anything on the surface. And even with your binoculars through the windshield, it doesn't really seem as if that helps. But you do read that there are elements of metal kind of growing off the ground. And as you get a little bit closer, Shade, you want the ship to kind of go into stealth mode, basically?
Yeah.
No, it's
No.
it's as close to stealth mode as you guys get without
like-
Gibbs messing stuff up.
Yeah, like shutting off power to.
Oh, we're
Yeah.
putting our ship on silent.
Yes.
Yeah.
Going into.
And now it's black. Hard to see.
I mean, to a certain degree, all ships are hard to see if you're not directly looking for them and there isn't light hitting them in space. I mean, it's just darkness. And
Unless
so
you have a light to shine.
Yeah.
But light doesn't travel. It travels in a vacuum, but it. Yeah.
but
Space,
now
nobody can see you shine.
now your ship is really hard to see. Yes, absolutely. You suddenly pick up a ping on your communicators, and the ping is a transponder for a ship. And Spice, you actually recognize this frequency as a GPF emergency frequency. This was something that would have to be set up and sent, and there's only one. It is coming from the surface, and so when you do approach, you should be able to visually see the crash site. It's actually a little bit above the ground level, and so it seems to be at altitude. Perhaps it was even landed, because it's coming through clear.
These GPF ships are the ones we're looking for, right? It's not like another GPF ship.
You can't tell from that, but it's the same kind of signal that would be coming from an SOS transponder from a down GPF ship or one that is looking for help.
So I'm assuming these are the ships that we're looking
It
for.
would make sense.
Yeah, so
Can I
Spice
play
goes,
the message?
ah, yes.
It's not a message. This
It's
is literally
like Morse code, I guess.
kind of, yeah. It's
SOS.
just a bleep that is saying that this is a GPF ship, and for all of you, it comes up as like almost direct radio static. For you, looking at the bands of information, Spice, you can tell what it is. And I would say, Echo, you can see that there is communication there, just as it is kind of a coded, encrypted message. And you have an eye for that kind of thing, but you don't or you're not able to read it necessarily.
I think Spice has downed enough ships to like recognize an SOS because she's had to send them out
She
before.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
recognize that there's a signal at least, right?
Yeah.
Can you like triangulate this to like pinpoint it?
Yeah, you guys have a solid lock, and so
Nice.
once you guys get in your shuttle, you can make your way directly there.
I think I'll grab Spice with a hand to say, would you care to join me in the cockpit?
Sure.
Echo's like already inside the shuttle, like sitting in the cockpit, like at
Oh,
the pilot
hey.
seat, like. I thought this was the one that I did.
Is this the one that Echo does?
I mean, Echo's strapped
I meant
in,
like the
so
front of the
it
ship.
sure seems like it.
Never mind. I thought you
Oh,
meant
like the
shuttle.
director. Yeah, so
So-
we're in the director.
Our
Echo's
ship
in the
is on
shuttle.
silent mode, chilling above the surface. We're gonna.
Not even above the surface. You guys are like stopped, basically right when you get out of the drift. You stopped, and then you're going to get in the shuttle and go closer to
Okay.
investigate.
So we're like miles between us and the asteroid.
Correct.
I'm just gonna like point out while we're in the cockpit. So director, is there like anything we have to like watch out for, or any like GPF like people in the area or anything?
There is no appreciable atmosphere, and so you should be cautious not to suffocate or die to the vacuum of space.
That makes sense.
It may be wise for the living organisms to stay on the directive.
Okay.
No,
What? And you see Spice is all suited up.
we do this
We're-
together.
We will. Echo like comes in from the shuttle. We will require all available hands to assist in getting these ships supposedly flight-worthy.
Yes. But right now, we are simply doing reconnaissance.
That takes so much time. We don't have a lot of time. And
And also, I'm good at environmental hazards. What if the
something were to happen while we are in the shuttle, we would want to be able to contact the Directive Zero and get assistance from the one ship that has any sort of weaponry.
Good
That
thing.
makes sense. Captain.
We have contact with the Directive Zero all the time, and Spice swings into the shuttle.
Gibbs also goes in the shuttle. Bubs can stay if he wants.
Yeah, I'll stay, Captain.
I can approach if needed.
If members are concerned, there is also operative mode.
In the Directive. Yeah.
Well, some can stay aboard.
Yeah, I can send my riot robot in my stead, and I can stay here.
I mean, I'd rather you come, but
Yeah, what? Just cum bubbles.
Yeah, whatever. Whatever the captain wants, or
Spice is going to like boop your helmet over your head.
Oh,
Ow.
You screw the fishbowl on.
thanks.
Gives his bathysphere spacesuit.
Gross.
No
I cleaned out all the elk guts out of this.
Oh,
whatever.
gross. Yeah,
That's
some
right,
little
yeah, I
things.
forgot about
Yeah.
Like the
So-
cleaning robot's been stuck in the laundry room for like.
You guys are all
Days.
getting into. Jeez. You guys are all getting into the shuttle or no? What's going on here?
I'm getting.
Echo's
it.
been in the shuttle.
Yeah, I know Echo's been on there.
It's only Bubs who's.
I guess I'm being told I'm going to
Babe, what are you doing?
Bubs is pulled into the shuttle. Shade, you were the only one not aboard.
This is inadvisable, for the record.
Okay,
Okay.
great.
You make your way in.
Echo starts like making preparations. Your concern is noted.
Yeah, and
ship
like
shuttle
everybody's snapping shit in.
And closes, and Echo eases you out into the drift, or not into the drift, into space.
It's like, I hope not into the drift. I don't think this thing is drift capable.
Echo, make a piloting check.
Yeah.
All of you strap into the very simple kind of jump seats that are available within the shuttle.
28.
Oh
28.
damn!
For a second, your face made it seem like it might have been like a 2.
I don't think Echo can roll it too on a piloting check.
I
So,
Cannot roll a 2.
can roll a 1.
so as you take this ship out, it's worth noting that the Directive Zero is not stopping. It is keeping pace with this rogue planet, which is not slow. It's relatively easy to reach it, and as you approach, you can see by whatever star is closest, there is a vague bit of light that is hitting it, and you see shimmering these little glints, and it looks almost like ice at first, but you realize this is metal, and it seems to be almost absorbing this light and giving out like a faint glow as well. And you had heard about starlight iron. This seems to be that.
Bubs, are you still in contact with the director, correct? On the comms?
Yeah.
Director, could you tell me what level of gravity is going to be on this place that we are landing?
The gravity should be normal level.
Okay, thank you.
So this is covered in starlight iron. Is that a valuable resource?
It's covered in rock, and there are chunks of starlight iron that are, kind of emerge from it. It's not. It has uses in imaging and stuff like that. It's just relatively strong iron
Okay.
that has a subtle glow to it, and so same uses as like radium, but stronger.
Okay.
It's not like crazy valuable, but it's not something that you would get rid of. So you get closer, Echo, and as you approach and you close in on the transponder signal, you do see a glint of darkness in the otherwise kind of light gray planet, and a high up, and this is kind of balanced, and it seems has crashed. It is like submerged half into the ground and become wedged into what looks like almost a mesa, or not quite a mountain. It is itself in the center of what looks like a canyon, and there are elements of rock that run up on either side. It looks like maybe a river at some point went here, but no longer. There's no water or ice. But you can see, yes, and you do see actually the source of this transponder. As it chimes again, there is a little bit of a green blink that you see, and there is a small beacon that has been set up next to this. There's no sign of anybody, although, actually, make a perception check. Anybody else who would, or actually, I would say one other person can, because in the shuttle it's kind of a narrow space.
I have
my
Gibbs, go for it. Gibbs wedges themselves up.
Pretty decent.
This is a D12. Sorry.
Bubs just looking at how beautiful Spice is.
21.
21.
She was just looking at Bub's butt
22.
because I got in
Okay,
last.
so 21, you do fucking nothing.
Yeah.
With the 22.
Ooh, but +6 for my binoculars.
No.
Bubbles and Spice are just in the middle.
With a 21 and a 22, you
But we
do
have
see
helmets on, so we can't.
next to the ship, there are a number of crates and other things that look like emergency supplies that have been piled up. You do see a box that is opened up, and you actually see, now that you're getting a little bit closer, there does appear to be at least one body. And you can see there is no helmet on this, and so hard to tell. I would say actually, Spice, for you, no problem. This is a drow. The skin is almost this crystalline blue, frozen over in the vacuum, but no doubt about it, you can see white hair, and they are wearing a GPF pilot outfit that is otherwise on and relatively intact as far as you can see.
Gross.
The boxes of supplies, you said one was open. Is it
Several are open.
so? Are they open like scattered out like they fell
Like
from the
from the
ships,
wreckage,
or
or-
are they like stacked neatly and opened? Is that like someone's going in to open one?
Make would a visual perspective be helpful?
Yeah, of course it would.
Oh, we're not going to deal with any hand-to-hand combat.
Who's that guy?
Echo.
Again, probably not hand to hand.
Yeah.
There's still weapons.
Dick
That's
to
not
butt.
hand to hand combat.
Yeah, like all of us have ranged weapons.
No.
Why does a visual
Except for Bubbles.
I can just throw things.
A visual perspective could
It
be
could
puzzle.
mean, yeah, it could mean timed
Oh, it could mean puzzle.
It could
I
mean,
want to
there.
medicine check this
It could
drow.
mean a chocolate cake.
I
for
love
us.
you're gonna
No,
medicine
the cake
check
is
the
alive.
frozen drow.
No, I like a medicine check to see why it died.
Oh.
Like I want to I want to know how it died to avoid how dying the same way it died.
Wise. That is wise.
Oh, that's yeah.
But
Wow, holy
Definitely
shit,
looks like an area that's not going to be used.
Are these
for
getting
combat.
No, that's
bigger?
all puzzles.
I just feel like they're getting
Or are we,
taller.
Side.
are we getting smaller?
Yeah.
Look at that. It's like a
Joe's
horseshoe
definitely getting
crab.
more and more impressive. I love this one.
I like that ship. It's a cool ship.
Oh,
Oh, you painted the bad boy.
The bad boy. The SS bad boy.
Oh, this one
I
that came
painted
out so
several,
weird. Did it come out weird when you painted it?
Yeah, it feels weird.
Oh, is that the
but
super?
it looks so
That's the
cool.
super. Yeah, it's the super weird one that like, came out like really spongy. I don't know why it came like that.
So you can see the
Stop
encounter
touching
map
it and put it back.
obviously on your camera, but you
wanna
can see it in much greater detail at Alberon
Holy
RPG,
shit, Joe.
Threads, Instagram,
this
things
you,
like
Dan?
that. No,
That's cool.
That is
Yeah.
cool. The way it looks like it slid
like
into
the
the
detail.
dirt.
it's just
Yeah.
thank you. And so flying above, you can
Where's our
see games. Yeah, Games Workshop has this game called Warhammer 40,000. They have great decals, really expensive
I don't know
decals.
if you've heard of this game called Warhammer 40k.
I mean, I don't know who
is
I don't know who plays that game. I'm
Not
a
a
big
sponsor.
fucking nerd. Not a sponsor, Games
Starlight
Workshop.
Iron Man.
Oh yeah. You're right.
I'll tell you though, Games Workshop, if you want somebody to run the Rogue Trader TTRPG, talk to us. Yeah. Oh, I would love to. I would love to run a Rogue Trader campaign.
We're
Oh,
cute. Don't you want us?
yeah.
I asked
So-
questions.
So yeah, I like that. That's a good idea. I didn't think
Does it
about
work?
that.
Yeah.
Look at that. Oh,
Nice,
brilliant.
George.
We're
Look at the
floating.
visual.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Can I, with my binoculars, which is how every sentence is gonna start from now on,
Yep.
look at the drow and figure out how they died from this distance?
Make a medicine check. Take a -6 conditional modifier.
Wait, but with binoculars you get a +1 to perception.
Dope. So okay, 19 plus
Different check,
17 is
36.
36 plus 1 is 37 minus 6 is 32.
31.
31, sorry.
With a 31, you peer here, and it's face down. You see this like really light blue skin is unusual for a drow. And at first you think it's because they're frozen, but that doesn't even really make sense. And then though you see no blood, you realize this individual has been exsanguinated almost entirely. There's no blood within their body.
Sucked out
Does
of
this
them.
look like crumbs? When they
With
were
that medicine check, no.
okay.
I don't like how he said that.
Yeah, that
Guys, do vampires exist here?
Yeah. Vampires canonically exist, right? Like
plant
within the
vampire.
world
Everybody
of
make a cultures check.
Starfinder.
Large galaxy.
You guys have not asked about vampires yet in this campaign.
Echo
In
just looks
Starfinder,
over.
yes, there are vampires.
28.
Okay.
Some of the first noted examples of vampires were found in Salarian writings.
Nice.
Vlad the Impaler.
Indeed.
So, okay, either it's vampires or it's leeches or
I
it's
did
There are
not say
many
that
organisms
vampires are
that
real.
can-
I rolled a nat one.
It's like everybody rolled and just kind of moved on, and I was like, okay.
Oh, wait, but 28?
Anybody above a 30? Gibbs, you've heard of like vampires, and unfortunately, oftentimes hurtful stereotypes for Yosokis do come up, and too often are Yosokis called vampires with their little fangs out front, even though they're not fangs, they're incisors, or they're what are they called?
Incisors.
Incisors. But as far as you know, not real.
Right.
As we were getting
Oh,
ready,
spooky.
Bubs is just going to take out his handy dandy, either the ion tape or the cable, and just do his classic move of making a tether. And he'll offer it to anyone if they want to take it. And I think he'll tie one end, starting with the tether, to the ship.
Okay, so again, I want to be clear about this. You guys are in the ship, there's no oxygen, and you're tying yourself to the tether just within the ship?
I think I'll
Like,
hold on to it and then
to a
I'll
seat?
tie it to the ship.
So
Okay, I got
Oh
you.
my
I got you.
goodness.
Like the tow hitch essentially on the
Yeah.
ship. Yeah.
Wait, you're in this ship.
Yes, I mean eventually
Trying to-
when I go out, I'm going to do it.
Okay.
so
Why?
Yeah, still don't.
Attached to the shuttle. That way, like,
he wants to
if you
tow
did need
the
to
shuttle
make-
with our ship, right? Is that
Well,
your goal?
No.
I don't know what
our
the goal is, but at the
physical
very least, if you guys, if like you needed to make a getaway and Bubbles couldn't get there, somebody could just take off and Bubbles is going with you. There's a
It's
couple of
always
reasons.
just good to have it.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like a good
We're in
idea to me.
space.
So this is one ship, and we're looking for 5 others.
Correct, and there's only one transponder so far.
Okay.
Echo, can you get us in closer? I'd like to inspect the vessel.
Echo does so unless a piloting
With a
check is required.
28, you can get that close.
I am.
You cannot land being right there, but you can get like hovering right
Could
in
you
front
hover
of this
like?
craft.
Could Echo hover in this position so that I could just
no,
hop out?
only one position.
Nope.
Yeah, you
Not
absolutely
allowed.
can. You absolutely can.
All right.
You could hover facing it so that the shuttle. You can, in fact, I would say with the 28, you can get it so that it is only going to be about a 5-foot jump to get from there. It's a very doable jump. You look at Gibbs. I mean, it's a doable jump for most.
If someone were to throw you, perhaps you could make the
Lower
space.
in the back to.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I
It
be your
goes
backpack?
down, and there is the.
I plan on staying
As
with
all
the
of the
shuttle.
air
It
Oh.
does not
sucked
have an
out.
autopilot.
There was air.
Okay.
I thought there
If you
wasn't.
throw
air
me,
in
I'm good.
those.
Well, when you get in, there's
Perhaps
air
you should
because there's
have
air in your
Bubbles
ship.
throw you. I
Gotcha.
am not exactly great with the upper body strength. We have
Bubbles,
discussed this.
one time offer. You want to throw me?
Yeah, okay.
Nice.
You've thrown Gibbs twice already.
Yeah.
But yeah. One time offer.
Again.
Okay. Is there creepy crawlies nearby feasting on the body, or anything helping with decomposition?
With that with your perception check and your medicine check so far, no. And as the door goes down, you onto the ramp and you look. No, I mean it's very still. The only movement that you're seeing is the blink of this beacon, as it kind of beckons people in to rescue this ship.
Are there any signs of like active computers? Can I do like a
Make a computer
exocortex
check,
sweep?
yeah.
See if there's like functioning ship parts or anything.
Wait, bugs have blood? Yes.
I mean, probably.
Okay.
Yeah, most-
Can I grab a bug and
29.
What bug are you grabbing?
just a bug from our shuttle?
29.
Bug in there.
It's a shuttle. We keep it very
Oh.
clean.
You did hear, for what it's worth, you did hear Peeps say that there's scorpions aboard the Mosaic Vivarium.
29.
The 29. The
I
29.
jumped out.
You
Oh.
do a scan. There
like-
is there's very quiet electronic signal that tells you the systems on that ship are active, they're intact. There's probably some minor damage. There is something that is currently the biggest damage is to the ignition source of this craft. And so there will be some kind of repair needed to get it started. It can't be started remotely, but you can access the computers. You can do a couple other things, some of the more basic things to kind of like read the systems. But to do anything active, you would need really that ignition source to be primed.
Is that something that I could repair with like my quick patching?
Yeah, I mean, it's something you would need to access inside of the ship to do. It doesn't have a wireless interface because you don't want people to
But
hack
it's not
it.
something where it's like, oh, we need to go order another part, and that's gonna.
Correct. Yeah. You have all the capabilities with you to fix it likely.
Okay.
Again, without like seeing it, you could open
Yeah.
it up and like
Well, I'm
it's
also
hollow.
I've jumped over, so I'm like coming over to
Is it the
here.
equivalent of trying to like?
Okay, so place yourself if you're going to.
No.
I'm literally working on it, sorry.
Appreciate it. That's my fault. I
So
forgot
yeah,
you guys were
jumping over to kind of get here, so
Okay.
I can get a better look at the.
Oh, the ship opens
So-
up. You can go inside.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you can just pull the top off. Forgot about that.
Sorry.
Echo's dead.
Apologize. Echo's dead forever.
That comes down, yes, no? The back doesn't?
Oh, the back, yeah.
Yeah.
This, I thought you were talking
No, sorry,
about
the
this.
back.
This actually does too, though. So I'll just take the whole thing off.
Just deconstruct it all. Yeah, that's the...
You can see it in more detail at AlbaronRPG on Instagram. A lot of cool miniatures.
It's a really good map.
It is a really good map.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I was happy. I've had this set up, just so you guys know, I've had this set up for
Right.
over a month now.
Oh wow.
You guys go so slow.
I love this picture.
So, Shade, you use your thrusters to just make that brief jump and then use them again to kind of stop and you clang down on top of this fighter, and there's no give. This is not like a commercial craft at all. This is armored. You peer down and you can see, unlike the model, there's no damage to the cockpit. This is a really intact ship. There's some superficial scratches.
Is it as in the dirt as it
Yes,
seems? So
it is
it's
very
gonna
much
need
in the
to be
dirt.
excavated.
It doesn't need to be excavated. Once you get it moving, you
It'll
can
be able to,
probably
like,
just
just
blast
lift
it
it.
out. But I mean, it's
not moving
damaged
unless-
for
yeah,
sure.
Yeah.
It's not in perfect shape, but it will be flyable. You don't see anything damaged to the actual physical mechanisms in the back. As long as there is no catastrophic damage on the inside, this should fly.
Has anything changed or noticed our presence or shades? Like
Make a perception check.
clean. Yeah, cool. I'm looking for danger. Nice. 16 plus what?
Perception. So.
Great. 16 plus 17 is
23.
23.
33.
33 plus 1 is 34.
34. Okay. With the 34, you do begin to notice that there is activity happening beneath the surface. It's like you are aware of beneath giant sections of the forest, there are connections of mushrooms that communicate, and it almost feels like that. It almost feels like this is responding to all of you walking across the surface. It's not, you don't feel like malevolent necessarily, but there's a part of you that does feel like the planet and its ecosystem has noticed your presence. And in the same way that you as a Yosoki intuitively like a prey item, you recognize that when an ecosystem is aware of your presence, that means all of it generally is. If there is a larger animal, it will eventually be aware of your presence.
All the more reason to go quickly.
Yes.
I want to safely check to make sure that it's not booby-trapped or anything and try to get into the cockpit
Okay.
while checking the ship logs to see if there's any information about other ships within the area that are attached to this unit or anything, since we're looking for...
Okay, so that's two different things. So first thing,
Exocortex doing
exocortex.
the computers check.
Make a
and
computers
then
checks.
I'm going to go in and do the
The
physical
exocortex
engineering
is
stuff.
more of like a combat thing. When you're using it out of combat, it's just kind of taking stuff from other people. So we want to try to spread it out a little bit more.
That's
You don't get 2 turns.
20... 33.
33. There are very strong countermeasures on this ship. The ignition being off is disabling the most powerful, which appears to be... Actually, let me just double check to keep myself honest here. This one. A self-destruct mechanism. When the ignition is off, that cannot be primed. And so as long as you are... Until this is actually active, the most dangerous part is inert, which is somewhat ironic. And actually, Shade, with that check, you recognize that you cannot disable this until you turn it on.
So there's like a brief window where...
When you turn it on, a countdown's going to start. And so that's when, there's going to be a red wire, blue wire moment.
I was literally thinking like, cut the red wire, cut the red wire. What? Good.
Is that the thing? Do you cut the red wire?
No, I assume it's
It's a trope.
2025 is different.
I go stay on the shuttle just to kind of like keep it close by and
Sure.
make sure it doesn't go away.
You can keep it roughly there. With that check, you maneuver it into place and you can kind of tether it and lock it there.
While they're doing that, though,
Mhm.
they want to kind of look at the like geography of the planet
Sure.
and the like things that are here, and see if it like just does it look like Siren?
Make a make a physical sciences check.
But I'm just gonna do what I said. I'm just gonna pitch it around somewhere.
Okay, no problem.
I think
Standard.
to echo
Okay.
with an 11, it looks like Siren in that it's a dead planet.
With an 11, it doesn't really look like Siren. There is not, it's a whole different kind of material. You're not seeing a lot of relation here. This seems to be, no, not a whole lot.
Alright.
Yes.
Gibbs would like to be thrown to the body.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh.
So, Bubbles, you tie this tether to the back of the shuttle, the place where in the military somebody might wait before they leap out, but you use this to hold on and just lob Gibbs across space. and add this platform. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Not asked to be. No, I don't care. I don't see a benefit of tethering as much.
You yote Gibbs, and Gibbs, no problem. You are thrown across. You kind of clunk along this thing. And luckily, there's no sound in space. There's no nails on chalkboard.
Nice.
But Shade, as you're like, okay, there's no countermeasures, and you begin to like access the systems, Gibbs just bodies into your chest and then skitters off
And then
the
skitters
side.
down. Gibbs
Careful,
wants. Gibbs assumes that the ships had to talk to each other, but so did the pilots had to talk to each other.
Sure.
So Gibbs is looking for either the communicator or like a notepad or like whatever this guy's got on his body.
Okay, so you're looting the corpse?
Yeah, fundamentally.
Make an investigation check. Perception check, whichever one it is. I always forget in story.
With my binoculars. No, I'm kidding. I'm not going to add plus one.
Take a minus 2.
It's really big!
You flip them around the wrong way.
Math is really hard tonight. Sorry, 17 plus 8 is
25.
Thanks.
25. With a 25, you take the body and you pull it open, and the head lolls back, and you can see there are 2 deep punctures in the throat. It doesn't go through the back of the neck. You
But does
saw
it look like
nothing come out.
vampires?
Yeah, kinda.
Does it look like snakes?
No,
Okay.
It would be way too big to be a snake, and in fact, almost too big to be a vampire. And as you kind of tilt the head back, you recognize it's not just 2 holes. There's a much larger third, and when it goes back, it's just the entire bottom of the jaw is just a missing section. And you don't see any light, and so it doesn't clear it through, but it looks like some kind of a feeding has occurred here. There's no blood, absolutely none, not even marking the exit
Like
wound, really.
someone's
It is just
this
flaps
got
of skin.
chewed out. And
Can
then
this
it's
guy
like-
speak?
There's a head.
Great. Can I grave words it while I loot it?
Sure can.
Cool.
That's a D100, right?
Yeah, with a 10% chance the information is of some use to you, including warning. Oh, look at the subtext. What a good thing. Including warnings about dangers in a wrecked starship.
Wow.
Does it have
literally
Spell text.
Does it have a helmet on though? Because if it's in the vacuum of
It
space,
doesn't.
can it?
So the helmet seems to have
be-
been removed, and I would say, Gibbs, as you are doing this and you hold up the head and you kind of pull the cheeks apart to use this ability, you do notice that there are broken elements where a helmet would have been kind of seated. This is not like your bathysphere screw-on helmet. It had like clamps and magnetic attachments and computerized components, and it was very cleanly pulled away. You can see just little bits where the screws had hung it on and where the paint is slightly different. But as you pull it up and you pull the head up and you pull the cheeks apart, the mouth opens up and you can hear from within the voice just says,
Nothing, because it's a vacuum.
I think I don't have to actually be
you
able
don't
to
actually
speak
have to be
to
able to speak to it. It does say, it does say, we could use more cup holders. Oh, shit.
Oh.
And you're not sure if that's helpful or not, but probably to him. it
Probably
would be.
true helpful.
It
Yeah.
is, you know, you can always use more cup holders.
Always love these 2 people.
I do too. Yeah.
I wish there were cup holders on the train.
In the minivan that I had, there was 16 cup holders, and you could only have 7 people in there.
Yeah,
Like,
just one just for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, just one for me.
anyways, anything else, Gibbs?
No, I've done enough.
Okay, Echo. As you see Bubs just throw Gibbs across, interestingly, as Gibbs lands, the scanners react a little bit to Gibbs landing. The life beneath the planet kind of bubbles up and moves, and suddenly there is a chime. There are larger life forms, and they are moving quickly beneath the surface. But because it is about to be 8 o'clock, we're going to take a quick break, and then we'll jump right back. Give me just one moment. We are going to take a quick break. We will be back in 10 minutes. We'll see you then. throat and in the neck in 2 places. You over in the actual what?
I'm not connected. To
Oh.
I'm not connected, so I think.
Yeah, mine's
it's
good.
me.
Okay.
I think it's me.
Oh wait.
I think it just blinked off. Yeah.
Yeah.
No worries. Figure it out
I wanted to
later.
make sure the Talon was good. Yeah, the stream is back up. Cool.
Gotcha. Okay.
We're back, Talon.
We're back. What was I gonna say?
Yeah.
You are. Ooh, that was weird. You are kind of seeing Echo back on your side of the ship. On the scanners, life forms begin to blink into existence. And quickly, you can see 1, and then 2, and then 3, and they tear along various pathways converging underneath Shade, underneath the area where this group is beginning to dig into this ship.
There are 3 large life forms directly below you.
There are 4,
4,
5,
5,
6.
7.
Gibbs, get back to the ship now.
Grab the
And Gibbs,
communicator I looted.
you see beneath you movement as little bits of rock out.
Can I
Let me get the rest of this puzzle.
see that?
The puzzle. I don't know if the people on the stream heard
Riddle
that.
me this, Batman.
Guys, don't worry. This is just a really, really complicated puzzle.
Yeah.
I don't like those puzzle pieces.
The
Yeah.
password is
I don't
open.
like those puzzle pieces at all.
They look
Are
like
those
little
fucking space raptors.
They're tyranninos. Tyrannos.
Tyrannos.
They're bad news puzzles. Oops. Fuck those puzzle pieces.
I
Those
thought you were
terrible.
going USR.
We know their weakness. They're top heavy.
Yeah, that's their weakness.
Yeah.
It's certainly that they're top heavy.
And short arms.
They can't scratch
They
their own
definitely
nose.
don't have short arms. That's definitely not a problem that they have. Although arms is a strong.
Oh, and those piercing-looking things would be consistent with the piercing marks of the corpse.
Yeah, that would actually make quite a bit of sense.
Damn.
Talon saying vampire
Damn, that's
dinos.
crazy.
All of a
Damn.
sudden,
Damn, that's
the
crazy,
rocks
bro.
away, and you can see these life forms pour out. And very quickly, you can see they begin to turn around. And Gibbs, you, as you like are looking down at the body, you feel very much like their attention is on you.
Can I
Roll for initiative.
gravity gun to pull?
We'll see what you roll for initiative.
Nice. I got a really good one.
So did they.
I'm gonna use my reroll.
Oh, I have my reroll.
That was a good use of the reroll. Okay,
So-
cool. Whew.
Yeah, you know what? I'll use my reroll too. That was a 2.
Anybody?
Yeah, that's
Anybody else? Natural 20.
Anybody else?
Yeah.
Oh,
Alrighty. 25 to 20.
20.
25.
21.
I went from a
So shade,
solid 10
and then
solid 20.
I rolled a 19 and am at a 20. Just because my deck's is good.
Spice, and then Gibbs, then the bugs. Anybody 20 to 15?
16.
16 for Echo. Bubbles, what about you?
Rolled a 2 and then rerolled it to a 3.
Nice.
I have a 7.
Okay.
That sucks. Sorry.
Yeah, good reroll.
Man. And who was at a 16? That was Echo, right? Okay. So the way that this works out, Shade, you are starting us off, followed by Spice, followed by Gibbs, followed by these insects. Wait, no, they had a natural 20. What am I doing? I just wrote down 20. Let me rewrite this so I don't get confused. We are starting off with the bugs, then Shade, followed by Spice. After
following
Spice, we
those
are going to have Echo, and then at the very, very end is going to be Bubbles.
We're calling those larger than a typical bug and dinosaur-like looking things bugs.
For now.
Okay, cool.
Do they look like the mini? Sorry. Or is
Yes,
it mini
what
representative?
you see is exactly what
Alright.
you
Okay, cool.
get. Okay.
What you see is exactly what you get.
So, we are starting off with these insects. Give me just a second.
Too bad we didn't start for that better armor.
I like the way that you said that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I mean, Echo has better
Stat
armor.
block here.
Speaking of which, is that different from
Thank you.
like a standard?
It counts 2 levels higher for anything that involves item.
These insects
Like
pour
harvest
out of
ability.
this space,
Some
and they are
checks.
going to fly up the rock face.
dislike that.
I mean, I like that they're all congested.
You
That
said
makes
get 3 of them on there, and there's 4.
6,
There's 3.
7?
7.
Oh, one of them's Gibbs. Sorry.
Wow. That's messed up.
I mean, that's just reiterate.
Yeah. It's Echo's not actually looking at this. It's just looking at scanners. This is Echo's face.
I can see through these.
How much space is like
Facing the wrong way.
technically between us here?
I believe 10 feet.
Okay, cool.
Either 10 or 15 feet. I'd have to really look, but I think
it
it's,
was-
it's close.
Yeah, because I think Gibbs was closer to the body.
So they run up, and in the silence of space, you can't hear anything, but you see these mouths open. And so they clearly do not require oxygen. They are clearly kind of honed into the vacuum of space, and they are functioning absolutely at capacity. They rush up, and Gibbs, all of a sudden, one leaps over you and then scampers into the kind of metal. You watch as elements of the paint and the metal itself are peeled away by the claws as it catches its momentum, and suddenly there are 3 all around you. Gibbs, as they pass by you and cross through your space, you take 6 damage from the first, 4 from the second, and 2 from the third. Then they're going to attack.
What?
The first one lashes out with those huge scythes. That is only a 12 to hit.
It does not hit.
Second one is going to be a 28 to hit.
Hits.
And the third one is going to be actually even lower. That's a 10 to hit.
Wow.
And so, Gibbs, you are only taking 12 points of slashing damage
Right.
as this across, and you are almost floored. And as the rest try to grab you, their talons strike and almost become entwined, and they pull them apart and go back for more. The 2 that are down there, they cannot quite strike you, and there is no space for them. So at the moment, they are just looking up and clawing at the stone. The one that jumps up, they need to use their full movement to run, dash up this rock, and they are currently clinging to the side of the ship. And you would imagine, even if the ship takes off, at the moment they are clinging on. For their first round, that is all that they can do. And that brings us to Shade. Shade, you watch as these insects swarm up this cliffside and are suddenly around Gibbs. As they move over, you can see dozens of small arms on the underneath fold out from the exoskeleton and tear at Gibbs's fur, trying to get beneath the flesh. You can see these 2 huge scythes as claws on either end. And as the mouth opens up, you can see very much like an alien-style tongue. That is probably what makes the bigger puncture mark of those 3.
Hate that.
What do you want to do?
Cool. I'm gonna use my amplified glitch with my exocortex to try and get.
Attack a biological creature?
No, I activate things nearby in loud and surprising ways to catch them off guard, like flashing brightly, alarms, sirens going off. So I'm gonna use that with the beacon here, and then if there's anything else in the ship itself, and that's gonna be the DC is 15 plus 1 per target. I'm gonna target the 3 that are surrounding Gibbs.
Yeah, go for it.
Plus 1.5 the CR of the highest of those 3 targets. And so so the DC, I can tell you that again after I roll it. That's probably not going to beat it. Maybe. It's a 26. Probably not going to beat it.
So again, that is 15.
15 plus 3
18.
plus 1.5 the CR of the highest target.
1.5 the CR of the highest, which is 5. So that is going to be plus 7. So that's a total of...
Oh, it beats it.
Oh, hey!
25, right?
Yeah, because I got
There you go. Yeah, absolutely. So as you cast this, as you cause the beacon to overload, as these creatures jump up on top, Gibbs, suddenly next to you, the light begins to flicker almost like a strobe. And they have to look away almost.
So they are now shaken for 1 round.
Yep.
Then I'm going to full action shoot my gravity gun at Gibbs to pull Gibbs towards me, and then use my other part of the action to throw Gibbs back onto the ship.
Other part of the action?
Sorry, of the attack. Like I am throwing Gibbs.
Throw and
as-
push. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. So for
Like,
this,
pull
make an
Gibbs.
attack roll. And I mean, at this range, you could hit Gibbs.
Okay.
This is really about getting Gibbs into the right place. Gravity here is normal, and so failing to do this means that you're flinging Gibbs off of this roughly
Well, I'm pulling.
25 foot.
But then
You
you're
know.
pushing.
Oh well, pulling and then physically throwing with like pulling you towards me to catch you, and then like
Oh, that's kind of two different things.
It's you're like.
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna like lasso and be like.
Yeah, that kind of makes sense.
oh, I was doing like one shot to pull Gibbs to me,
Yep.
catch Gibbs like a baseball, and then second to throw Gibbs and attack Bubs with Gibbs.
Right,
as
but-
an improvised weapon.
That's two actions.
Full action,
Full action.
which is 2 attacks.
And then the exocortex. Yes. Okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely you can do that. No problem.
Okay. So I guess you can choose to fail the. You'd have to make a save.
A reflex save.
I
But
wouldn't
it's
make
a
it even
21
if
to
they-
hit.
It's
Or
gonna
sorry,
hit.
22 to hit.
You want to fail.
I want to fail it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so you are yanked out, and
Because I'm not going
as
to take
these-
attacks of opportunity.
As the strobes
don't take
flash, they
attacks
don't
from
take any
movement
attacks
either.
of opportunity from forced movement.
So then you're here, and then I'm gonna try to throw Gibbs back onto the ship.
Okay. So make an attack roll. You're attacking Bubbles with Gibbs.
Yeah,
You're
You're
not
attacking
adding a
Bubbles?
proficiency modifier
because it's just the.
because you're not proficient in Gibbs.
I'm pointy.
You are
Well,
pointy.
is there a throw action that can be used within a full action attack?
No.
Okay.
Like we're bending the rules to make
natural
this happen.
20.
There you go.
Okay.
So you grab onto Gibbs as they are pulled with the gravity pistol, and you turn around, and with the momentum, you hurl Gibbs and almost fall off the ship, but grab it with the tip of your boot into the elements that are
Metal
holding on the
boots,
cockpit.
or magnet boot.
And Gibbs, you are thrown again back into the ship. And Bubbles, you just boomerang Gibbs. Gibbs comes right back.
And then I'm gonna quick action activate my sword and be ready to get fucked by all these things.
Not a
You
quick
can't
action because full action attack.
Swift.
You don't have
Sorry. Yeah.
There you go.
Rule of cool. I'll do it on the start of the next turn
Cool.
where I get killed.
So that is your turn, Shade. That brings us to Spice.
Spice is going to. I think she was like putting her helmet on, doing the last things to like get ready for like going outside. Sees Gibbs like fumbling like the back of the ship. She goes, "What the fuck?" And then she sees like the claws coming
Yeah.
up to the window, and then she sees out here the like massive pile about to attack Shade, and she's going to run to the edge of the ship
Okay.
and breathe in a deep breath and breathe out fire. Can I do that in a vacuum?
You would imagine probably not. And also, so think about the fact that you just put your helmet on.
All right. Fry my face.
It would be.
now.
It would probably be a really bad result. Yeah.
All right.
That's probably a really easy way to kill your character.
Yeah,
tip.
I'm just imagining,
helmet on,
the scene in Avatar where
he
she,
drinks
like
the
the metal
tea?
bender
Oh.
just like closes over whatever her face is.
Yeah.
Face.
blows
Anyway,
up her face, yeah.
not gonna do that. I'm going to
Advisable.
panically look over at Shade, who's on top of that ship, and be like, "Hurry!" and give you an extra move action.
Through the comms, you hear this urgency in Spice's voice. There's a lot of these creatures. Anything else, Spice?
Move action. Can I close the back of the ship so they can't get in?
Yeah,
I'm gonna do that because I'm assuming you're gonna fly this ship away.
no problem. They got this, Spice. You pull the lever.
Is that not a thing?
And Spice, as you watch,
Shit's okay.
as you watch your Shade's
I
eyes
hope
just
you're
disappear,
tethered.
No.
Great, bye.
You were in the bathroom for that as well.
you shut the back door. No problem. Oh boy,
Great.
I love that. That is your turn,
good.
Spice. That brings us to Echo. Echo, the door is shut. If you want,
Nice knowing
you're
you.
ready to go. Oh, wait.
From the window. It's my turn.
Oh, I missed
Captain
Gibbs. Sorry.
Mal.
Gibbs.
move action open the back of the shuttle.
Okay, so Spice, you pull it down and you see Shade's eyes, and you're like, "Wait, I made a mistake." And then Gibbs slaps your hand down, the lever goes down, and the ship begins to open again. Very much like that.
So Gibbs sees these creatures like a starving dog and realizes that she is the bait, and like the eyes follow as Gibbs is now like done this. So I would like to bottle on the outside of my spacesuit, obviously, so I can cast magic. Give these creatures a different target, and so we'll use my biological magic to cast School Spirit down here to create a different tasty looking target.
So you're casting School Spirit.
Yeah.
You've read that spell. Just for what it's worth, I think you may be trying to do something that will not work, but you would know that.
They're also shaken.
They are shaken, the three that were around you.
Oh, it's just
The other ones are
Bubble wants to leap out of
I like the idea, but I don't
okay,
think it'll work.
then
them all to death.
Thank you. Just put them anywhere.
all right, Gibbs is gonna instead use hurl
Throw them on the counter.
force disc probably.
Yes, go for it. It's a
I
great,
hate
it's such
this
a good
spell
spell.
so much
Why? I like
because it makes me do a lot of dice rolling that I don't like to do.
That's why all of my characters only have one thing that they can do.
Choose an initial target with a ranged attack.
Exocortex and attack.
Does a
And for
14
Ori,
hit?
it's just shoot
14
arrows
against.
and look at things.
Sorry, it says specifically EAC.
EAC 14 does not hit, unfortunately. You throw this force disc. Jeez, Matt.
They're shaken. Does that help me at all?
That one's real shaken, but yeah, the three that are around you do. That is shaken is
No,
minus 2.
no AC.
-2 to
Ability checks, attack rolls, saving throws, and skill
everything,
checks.
yeah.
Unfortunately, no.
Okay.
Anything else, Gibbs?
I start to pull out a lean, mean green can, thinking like, oh, they're hungry.
Okay.
This will help.
As you are thrown by Shade, you turn and you like pull out the force disc, this little glob of earwax, and you're about to do this cool like backwards throw, and then you hit the ground. It hurts a lot, and you just kind of fling it on the ground and like pull out this green bean can, ready for your next turn. But that is your turn, Gibbs. That does bring us to Echo. Echo, the door is open again.
Echo can see it like on the sensors that there's something on the side of the ship.
Oh yeah, you can feel like the ship a little bit
It
because
actually
it's
did shift on the map too
Yeah.
a little.
Echo
immersion.
Echo free action
Grab onto something.
and wants to kind of maneuver the ship a little bit.
Burn.
No, the
Barrel
door is
roll.
open. Echo wants to like bump the ship a bit to kind of see if they can loosen its grab.
Make a piloting check, absolutely.
I think that would be.
The hustle.
I think. No, there are stunts. You could
electric
do
slide.
erratic maneuvering, which is an open action.
Yeah, but we're not in starship combat.
No, I know, but like.
So 20 8 plus 9 is 17 plus 20 is 37.
With a
Damn,
37,
dude, that's a high
as
fucking
the ship
roll.
begins to dip and this thing scratches
The
against the
pilot
side,
score.
you just kill half of the thrusters and the whole ship, almost like a door on a hinge, just swings down. And this creature, you could just put it down on the base, it loses its grip. That's a great check. You dump this thing off. It falls not prone, it falls down on its feet, kind of scratching down the rock. But no problem, you lose that creature.
If possible, can I maneuver the ship around the backside here so Shade just has to like fall in?
Yeah, you absolutely can. So you kind of pull around, and you're moving slow to do this. Your piloting check is playing a part in this. You would not normally be able to do this. You are barely using the thrusters, and to do so anymore, you risk burning Shade, but you can do it.
Like right here?
Yeah, no
I'd
problem.
rather get burned than eviscerated by a bunch of aliens.
You
We don't
might
have
get
blood.
both. Anything else?
At least
Echo?
I'd be charred to a crisp.
That's
So
true.
they would
You'd be
not-
extra tasty.
Yeah.
Echo's just going to
Hold
like
it here.
kind of pull up the weapons panel
Okay,
and say,
You might want to get aboard, Captain.
no problem. You have pulled up the weapons panel. You have passed on that communication. That is your turn, Echo.
Working on it.
Bubbles.
Bubbles is probably just going to, because I don't have line of sight, I'm just going to hold my action to attack the first one I see with my hand.
Okay.
My Zopco.
So you rush over to the edge right next to
Shade
Gibbs.
in the back of the
With
head.
the thought in mind, I don't know if I can add this to my thought.
Shut the back.
If for some reason it's a thing where I throw it and I don't get the Zopco back, I won't throw it.
Okay, sure.
But it has a return.
No problem.
Not, but if,
Sometimes
like,
it doesn't.
Yeah.
So that
turn
is
it
You
your
throw a
turn.
boomerang bad.
Right. That is your
Threw a
turn.
broom one time.
That brings us to the top of the round and to these insects. So the ones that are
Call them
shaken,
insects?
they can still move, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. They just take a -2 penalty to attacks, saving throws, skill checks, and ability checks.
Maybe do my spell sheet. It's all fucked up. I
Yeah.
keep forgetting to keep spells on it.
These guys are gonna climb over, and I'm not gonna put them on the ship, but they're standing on either side of you, Shade. They're just gonna slide.
Okay, so they're on the ship with me.
Correct. Yeah.
But they're
So
not
one of them standing kind of on the cockpit, the
this
other
ship,
one
yeah.
kind of on the thruster. So they are bracketing you on either side.
That would probably trigger my ability to throw my hammer.
Oh, so yeah, you can throw it for sure.
Yep.
Which one?
The one.
The one on the
Whatever
left or the
one-
right?
yeah,
Sure.
whatever
They're
one's-
flanking me, essentially. These two.
Okay, as long whatever one's in my view.
Okay, no problem. One on the cockpit.
And I'm gonna make this a full attack because I believe these things have like very good armor.
You gotta believe.
Or no armor.
Guys, a 14
They
didn't
look
hit.
like they physically have armor
It's
on
bubbles.
them.
Okay.
It took like a
They
full
look like they're
7.
wearing armor that like is both natural and also
Okay,
fucking
then-
armor.
Regular.
Like their body's armor, but then they're wearing armor over it. Yeah.
12 plus 10. No, 14. So that's a 26.
26 absolutely hits.
Yes. Okay. And where is my controls?
I love this spell.
That's a 0, so that's a 10 plus
It's a
4, 14
I could take that into account,
plus 17 is
31.
31. You hurl the Dothko as these leap up. Both of them pull these scythes back, and Shade, you're about to take multiple attacks. And then this Dothko strikes into one of them. And they are almost knocked off the ship. These two scythes scratch against the metal and just barely keep it on.
And as Bubs does this, he turns off his because he's been listening to audiobooks like George Takai and Chicken Noodle Soup. He turns off team communication and confidence for dummies.
Okay. The audiobook is off. You're now in combat mode.
Not a sponsor.
No problem. That is your turn, dealing 31 points of damage with nothing but Audible, not a sponsor. That brings us back to the bugs. The two who are on either side of you, Shade, first, as they move to either side, are going to deal.
Can you
5
describe how
points of
they do that?
damage.
Is that through like their?
They have naturally sharp bodies, so when they come into contact with
Gibbs,
you, you take
you having had this happen, recognize that they are swarming you. And that has special meaning within the Starfinder universe.
Yeah,
Okay.
more. Wait a second. That does.
So you said
Ding,
I
ding.
take 5.
You do. You take 5 points of slashing damage as they move over you. Gibbs, you are taking 10 points of slashing damage as they move around you, getting ready
Wait.
to attack again.
Gibbs is on the ship now.
Oh, sorry, Gibbs is on the ship. Right. Sorry, I have to move those guys. Actually, I
Maybe
don't have
add
to move
Shade.
them. No, yeah. Okay, so never mind. Hang
They
on
jump
one
up
second here.
like the 5 feet that they need to get to me.
So I don't take attacks.
So no, you're not taking attacks.
Nice.
Hang on, I'm gonna get more dice.
all according to plan.
I'm gonna
This, I will say, the move action, the extra move action, is hopefully going to get me out of a sticky situation.
So the way that this works, I am going to use one different attack than the other 4, and that's going to go first. So the first one that leaps up, Bubbles hits with the hammer, and as they slam into the cockpit, they lash out at your feet. Using the 10 feet of movement, they're going to make a ferocious charge.
Oh no, that sounds bad.
This attack is a natural 20.
No!
So even with a minus
you hate
6,
it.
almost certainly this is
Ew,
going to
when
hit.
DM rolls a natural 20.
That's a 34.
Gross.
Fuck that.
And so, Shade.
Let's hear it. What happens?
Shade dies on this asteroid.
Shade, you are taking
Maybe.
24 points of slashing damage from that attack. And
Fuck.
without any save, you are tripped.
Tripped? Wait. I have things that prevent me from being tripped.
Let me know what it is.
It's my
Gravity boots.
they're not called that, but yeah. Hang on, because it's on a weird page because it's part of my it's like part of the inventory because it's an armor thing, but it's not.
Anti-trip boots.
Stabilizer springs.
Okay.
Oh, I guess it's a +2 against the trip combat
That's still
maneuvers.
pretty
The
good.
circumstance bonus.
Still tripped,
it's-
unfortunately. Yeah.
So it doesn't matter for the
yeah,
natural
so-
20.
Yeah,
Yeah.
knocked
Oh,
straight
fuck.
prone as it is knocked almost off the ship by the Dothko. It uses its talons to pull you as well, and the two of you almost slide off
like-
the ship.
Over on this side.
But as you are now down,
Which side does he fall down, Joe?
so he doesn't fall down. He's
Kinda like
pulled
that.
straight down, and so he is like
like
poof,
that.
onto the top. Yeah, very much like that. And now this is important because the other 4 attacks now, if they do hit, you are
Automatically crits.
Oh
So-
no!
well. We'll do them one at a time. First one is only going to be a 16 to hit.
That
It's
misses.
KSC. Second one is going to be a 31 to hit.
I roll right into it.
Second one is only going to be a 21.
I roll away from the one, but it lodges the other one in further.
Oh, and the final one is going to be 24 to hit.
And then I pull that one out, and that's it.
Okay.
It's just the one.
So just the one, that's pretty lucky. It is still a critical hit. It's almost minimum damage for a grand total of 15 points of slashing damage.
Well, it's manageable. That's manageable.
Are you
I'm
still in
only.
stamina land?
I'm still fine-ish.
That is
Yes. Yes.
the trip. That is all the attacks right there. The one that is up on that ridge
This guy. That got
can't do
scooted
anything
down.
really. And so that is all that they can do this round. That brings us to Shade. Shade, as you are knocked prone, they pile on top of you. And though they're shaken, they are certainly beginning to carve elements of your armor away. What do you want to do?
I'm gonna get out of there. So, I do. So, for Starfinder, it's half movement to get up.
Correct.
No, there's no. You can't break a movement.
I mean like half the cost of movement to get up from prone.
No, but I think it's getting up.
And
as
that's
you move.
also
Get it up as you
Oh, okay.
Standing up from prone is a move action.
Okay.
Oh.
So just gravity
So
gun
stand
yourself.
up from prone, and then I'm going to second action, jump back to the ship.
Not provoking attacks of opportunity.
I don't see why I wouldn't.
Okay.
Let me
So-
just double check because I think I got rid of mobility last round, last level up. Yeah, I got nothing.
As you jump away, you could see the sides go wide. Those tiny arms reach out to try to grab onto you, and they seem to be getting a bonus to their
Oh.
attack.
Wait a second. Haha.
Aha.
Oh wait, never mind.
Okay.
It was.
Nothing.
I have a thing fend off where I'm wielding a small arm and a one-handed melee weapon, which I am because I use my quick action to get the blade out. But it's when I fire the small arm, it doesn't provoke attacks of opportunity in range. So I guess I'll use one of my move. I'll attack.
Oh, so you're not moving.
I guess
He's got 2 moves.
I have 2 moves.
So you stand up.
So I stand up, and then I guess I would make my attack here and
Okay.
then go. Yeah. So I'll attack the shaken one that's nearest me when I stand up from prone
Okay.
with the gravity gun.
Okay. I'm just you're doing it in a weird order, so I'm getting.
It's
kind of
because the
confused
2 move actions, because I have the extra move action. So
Stand
I
up.
use 1 move action to stand up.
here. Okay.
Then I use my attack action to shoot with
Okay.
the gravity gun.
Yeah.
And then I use
It
my
would just
second
be helpful
move
to
action.
say it in that order
Yeah.
next time.
I had to like
But it's that
figure it
it's
out.
because
Gotcha.
fend off is saying that when you attack,
I think we
Right,
got-
so
we
I'm
got it.
attacking now, and that will not provoke attacks of opportunity from the other 2, but I will still get the attacks of opportunity when I use my second move action to move.
Correct.
Yes. We can go.
Does a dirty 20 hit?
It does.
Cool. It needs to make a reflex saving throw to not get knocked out.
That is a 25.
That is. This is the one that's the weird.
I like this music.
It's 25, you said?
25.
That is a failure.
Very nice. What happens?
It is pushed back that way.
How far?
15 feet.
15 feet. So it is just right off the side, and it scatters down into the kind of ground, taking a little bit of damage as it does. Actually, taking maximum damage as it does.
Nice.
Dead.
I think it would probably have landed there, but I'm
Yeah.
just putting it there.
Yeah,
'Cause,
I got you.
and then jumping back with my second move action.
Sure. Okay. So only provoking 4 attacks of opportunity.
Because they get 2 attacks each.
No, but there's 4 of them that are there.
1,
2.
2.
3, and then this one. Sorry.
These guys wouldn't get attacks. Because they're right here. I
Yeah,
forgot. I was thinking that they were physically
No
where
worries.
they are.
Oh, way better than the roll that I made before you moved. So, 25 is the lowest. KAC?
25 to EAC or KAC?
KAC.
KAC is a miss.
30 is the next one.
That's it.
So 3 hits. Shade. You are taking... Ooh, close to minimum damage again. 10 points of slashing damage from the first.
Okay.
10 points of slashing damage from the second.
Okay.
And 11 points of slashing damage from the third.
31 total.
Yeah, getting real lucky with these rolls, but you leap, taking slash after slash. They grab on... Oh, does a 28 hit, actually?
Yeah.
So you actually take that other hit as well, because they grasp with these little grasping talons.
-2 to the attacks because they're shaken.
No, so there you go. We did it right the first time. There you go. So that is all other attacks of opportunity. Shade, anything else?
Action, 2 move actions, and that's it. I guess I move I'm like.
You can
more,
share a spot with me.
Yeah, I'm like more
I can be a little
in
out.
the threshold, kind of holding onto the edge there with
No
my,
problem. You guys are piling into this space.
and then
That is your turn, Shade. That brings us to
Get us out of here.
Spice.
Move action, close the door.
Okay, finally at an appropriate time,
Yeah.
the door begins to close.
And then, I guess, I can't, hold the rest of my action, can I?
You to do what?
I wanna, if they leap at the, ship, I wanna cast Daze.
Okay, you absolutely can.
Okay.
That is your turn, Spice. You get ready, kind of in an action pose, looking at the back of the ship. That brings us to Gibbs.
So, how long does it take for the door to close? It's not instantaneous?
6 seconds.
6 seconds, so it's like closing at the moment.
Cool. Gibbs is gonna skitter up onto Bubs' shoulders just so she can get a good angle.
Okay, your head's like jammed against the very top. You are
and
as high as you
I
can
think
be.
they just have to see me. Hold on. Let me read my spell text to tell you if they need to actually see me or
You
not.
casting fear?
I am.
You do.
Cool. So, at the third level.
They're not shaken anymore.
Okay.
Oh, with a single mental nudge, you unlock it. It affects all living creatures, CR low, and a 30-foot clone.
Lower than.
Sorry.
8. CR
Okay.
8.
Yep,
Sorry.
that affects them.
Yeah, I figured. Sorry. So I don't think I get this guy down here, but I think I can get literally everybody else.
You can get the other 5, yes, you can.
I need a will saving throw, please.
All right. So, the lowest one is a 13. Or no, sorry, the lowest one's a 10.
All right, hold on. So this is a DC. It's a. Fear gets my Shimmer Staff bonus, so the DC is 18. Or wait,
18.
wait, hold on, no, because I'm casting at the 3rd level, so it's actually DC 20.
Meets it, beats it for one of them, and the rest all fail. The only one that succeeds is the one off on that rock face.
Nice.
So all of the ones on the ship suddenly are strucken with fear. As you get up on Bubs' shoulders, you cast this spell. And to them, you look like the largest Yusoki that has ever lived. Your eyes become glowing coals, and it is just terrifying to behold.
Dope.
Anything else?
We're leaving the ship here? Alright.
I mean, we're not getting it right now.
Right, alright.
This is one of the GPF ships that we need,
Gibbs,
though.
anything else?
We'll wait for the infestation to clear out.
Wait.
You wait. Echo, what would you like to do?
Joe, I would like to do a thing, but I don't have the sheet for it because I spilled water on that sheet and it's no longer.
Oh, is that what just happened?
No,
this
it
was
was a while ago.
many moons ago.
Many moons ago, when we were approaching Siren, we had 2 ships in combat, and it was glorious because I did things that did okay with this ship.
Yeah.
And this ship has a gun.
They were very
Yes. Oh, okay. You're asking what the gun is.
I would love to maneuver the ship and hit the larger group that is not on the ship we want.
Give me just 1 second.
Oh, this.
Yeah.
This is GPF.
I think it was just like standard light laser
I'll tell you in a second.
or light cannon or something.
Joe's
Thank you to Hephaestus, who just unbelievable tools, and I have everything that I've ever made saved here. So this is a GPF operation shuttle from Alandre Drives, and it. Where are the guns listed in this thing?
Oh.
System staff.
Where's the rings? I have the rings, please.
I don't see where the weapons are listed in this thing. Does it have weapons? For sure.
We used it in the Siren
Yeah,
combat.
I remember.
Yeah,
I
we
remember that. I don't
I
have
think
any
it was
listed.
a light
so-
laser
I
cannon.
believe
That makes
it's
sense,
10
yeah.
times the damage that's listed.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
but we
what
don't
it is
have the
against
damage
it.
listed. That's the problem.
We can use light laser cannon for now. That makes sense to me, and then we could go on.
With the crew.
So yeah, it can for now. This can
Isn't
be a
it
light
good?
laser cannon.
I think it's awesome.
Okay, would you like me to use the gunnery check for
Yes,
this?
go for it.
Okay.
Re-entering Starship combat. Beep boop boop. Everybody to your stations.
I'm gonna be the magic officer this time.
You're a
My
magical
mysticism
boy.
level is -4. Yes.
I believe in you.
Can you have
It's actually
minus
+4.
skills? Okay, I was gonna say. Yeah.
No,
you
both
can't
fucking
even
don't
have
count.
minus skills.
You can.
My dex is minus.
13.
Or my strength is minus
At
1.
this level, it'd be
Any
impressive.
system
Yeah.
bonuses?
Thank you.
Okay, any penalties?
You're welcome.
No,
Cool. So that is going to be a.
I never put a rank in it.
That's
Why would I
going
have
to
a
be
reason to?
21.
go ahead and roll damage and multiply that by 10.
What's
I think the DC is also.
what are
weird,
the
'cause,
dice
like,
that I'm rolling
Oh,
with that
sorry.
light laser
This
cannon?
is
I believe it's a
laser cannon.
D6.
Oh, it's a D4.
Oh, it might be a D4
I
actually.
remember it being a D4 specifically. But I
Let me just double check here. That
So
is
hopefully
I have a D6.
Oh, really?
So go ahead and roll a D6. That's what I have
Damn,
for
it
right
could have done
now.
more damage than the Astro.
Wow, not the time
Our
to say
ship
that.
cannon is
By
our
10?
ship cannon is
Say again?
different.
Yes.
Multiply by
Oh,
10?
okay.
40.
40.
Damn.
You turn, and as you are turning the ship and
I
beginning
was
to
clear
move,
that I wanted it to hit these guys, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You pull around and you fire, depressing the trigger. There is a jolt from the shuttle. And as you see the laser explodes into one of these beings, you see plate just ripped off. You see one of the huge sides in the arms just torn out and it just off and into the darkness. And they down, just this purplish ichor flowing down the body and the rock. And they look up and you can see the mouth yawns open in a hiss as it is still alive.
I'm sorry. I hit it with a starship.
That's
weapon.
okay.
40 damage?
That's
Oh, yeah.
okay.
It's in bad shape, but it is still alive.
It's an armored insect.
You can see this is something where if this was a mammal, the lungs would be exposed, the internal organs would be exposed. This creature almost certainly has backup systems for everything. You see the arm is entirely gone, and already the blood has stopped flowing out. I mean, this creature is almost designed for combat.
Like genetically engineered.
Hard to tell from looking at blood from a distance. But
But with my binoculars.
Looking at the
but in this moment, as you are all in the ship and currently off, I'm gonna take you guys out of initiative.
But for the record, that is one of the ships we have to get.
Yes. We
Yeah.
just have to somehow figure out how to get it with those things.
Can't
Shade is going to.
Let's have a decoy, like, dump
So as you
trash
fire
on the
that,
floor.
give me just 1 second.
It has to have a blood source.
Does it?
You could always just come back.
Okay. As you fire and that insect explodes, it hisses, but the other ones look up almost as one in unison, up at your shuttle, and then begin to skitter back down. The one that is hurt takes a bit. You can see it looks as if their movement is pretty heavily impacted. They kind of clumsily fall down the side. And as they get towards the hole that the rest of them kind of disappear into, you do see some other life forms kind of emerge. They're different looking. And at first it looks like they're going to help this creature. Tiny little versions that are like inching along, but then they begin to just consume this thing. And they burrow into it, and this thing doesn't even seem to really fight it. They get into the corpse itself and begin to eat it from the inside out. More and more of them begin to get in, and at the very bottom of that cave, there is currently just this carapace and little life emerging.
Fresh.
Captain, I have this ion tape. Maybe we could make like a cradle for it, and someone could,
Director, sending footage now of creatures that have taken over the vessel we are trying to intercept.
Footage received.
And Shade's gonna collapse down because not looking great.
Are you in?
bad?
Like, not looking
I
great.
was upstairs, so.
And looking at Shade, there are huge cuts from these scythes, but almost more of the damage comes from thousands of tiny little bits that have been snipped away, almost like an individual had just taken like garden shears and just taken
Ew.
pinches of flesh, one at a time out of Shade's body.
And I'm gonna begin a short rest
Okay.
to regain all my stamina and just sit down and light up a cigarette and say, we need to regroup.
Yeah, so we know that these creatures are attracted to biological means. So we either have to distract them, or can the riot guy pilot a ship? He doesn't have blood.
Unlikely. The riot is designed for self-defense primarily and training.
Maybe we could tack a few blood bags to him though, and
What
send
is
a decoy.
required to get the ship in the air? Proverbial air.
The main issue is the ignition. However, upon activation, which should be relatively simple, it will trigger countermeasures, primarily a self-destruct mechanism that will begin as soon as the ignition is repaired and activated. That will give a brief window of time to disable the countermeasures before the self-destruct activates.
So you just need time to deactivate that and then drive it away. We don't have to kill these things and we don't have to outsmart them, we just have to distract them.
The repairs will take a few moments, and deactivating, if it does not take more than a few seconds, will...
But you don't know how long it could take.
How long could it take? Theoretically, what's the longest time frame to do the simple repair and then...
If you get in and it turns out that to make sure that nobody stole the ship, they just remove the igniter,
like
seconds. If you get in and the whole ship is hollowed out and you need to replace it with like UPB, a day and a half maybe.
Oh, fuck.
Captain,
Did I see anything to indicate one way or another when I was standing on top of the ship?
A little busy.
Captain, could we possibly also maybe entertain the idea that we could also tow it? I have the ion tape and all.
Currently like still hanging off the back.
Yeah.
Is
There's
that
like about
strong
10
enough?
feet of loop
Well,
that are like, because
The
bubbles
ion
are still
tape's not
attached to
strong
it.
enough.
No, it's
The
not
ion
strong.
tape isn't.
But the
Yeah, but
carbon
the cable, that's
fiber
what I-
cable.
The cable, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't use the tape.
Oh, okay.
Would it be feasible to just jump out, attach it to a point somewhere on the hull, and then pull the whole thing out?
Make a
Probably
physical
with
sciences check.
Probably with the director over.
Make an engineering check, actually.
Decent at both of them, but engineering is probably a little better.
While Shade is kind of resting and considering these things, is anybody else doing anything?
32?
Can I, as we're hovering around, right?
Yeah.
Can I observe the entrance of the things, of the
Make a
home,
perception check.
Would I?
with my binoculars?
Make a perception check.
Nice.
And then I'm going to go to Echo, because actually Echo had something
Okay,
too.
what?
27.
27.
I rolled a 19.
As you look around, you see that corpse. You see little bits of movement every now and then, the arms like, but not a lot else. You do notice that as you are watching and the ship kind of hovers and moves and shifts, there are other openings in this canyon here. They came out of one, but it's possible that they could come out of others. And with that check, though you don't see any other life, you notice some of these canyon openings are quite large.
So there's a chance we touch down again and something bigger comes out for its breakfast, not just these little guys.
I don't feel like we need to touch down.
I'm just saying, if you're gonna tether it, that's a touchdown. Every point you get close to the ground, it knows we're here, it knows what we're interested in.
Can't we just have Shade hang off of a fucking cable? Like...
You know how fishing works, though?
With the
That's literally
32.
how fishing works.
I like that idea, Spice.
Yeah, but
Yes.
then... he's not touching the ground.
We'll get
He's
back to
just
that because
touching
you're
the
doing
fucking
a short
ship.
rest, so this
Oh,
will be
Spice,
kind of
that's a
like,
good idea.
towards the end of that.
Also, Spice, while they're just like hovering around in the area, she's gonna go, Director, empty the biological waste septic system onto the ground. I want to see if it attracts
It's an
animals.
interesting idea. Okay, so you say that you're
just
kind
have
of
to shit
resting and
off the
thinking this
back.
thing.
Yeah,
Echo, what are
literally.
you doing? You're flying at the
Echo
moment?
shit. I mean, shit, sorry. Director shit.
We're in the shuttle still, though. There isn't a bathroom.
Oh, that's how what this corner is?
As
There's a bathroom.
Echo's kind of like flying around, they're kind of like monitoring sensors and any transmissions to see if there are other beacons.
Okay.
Because theoretically, there's supposed to be like 5 of these things, yes?
Yeah, theoretically.
And we've only found one.
Only one. Make a perception check.
All my dice belong in jail. Dirty 20.
With a dirty 20, you don't find anything very precise. Now and then, there are little blips of life, little movements kind of here and there. And there's one moment where you do hear a much louder blip, and it definitely pings as something larger than what you've seen so far. Not
But it's like moving though.
yes.
Oh.
You see it briefly, and then whoosh, kind of vanishes below.
But no more like GPF transmissions.
No more GPF transmissions. Nothing electronic of any kind. You do note, kind of, with the 21, not a whole lot else. So time passes for all of you.
You have a physical science room.
Yep.
Yeah, this is what.
And so, Shade, as you are kind of examining this, you get the sense that you could land. You would probably want to place a harness in at least 2 places, preferably 4, and ideally probably in 6. And Spice would probably know the points at which to do this being a GPF ship.
Here, 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 here.
I mean, maybe.
Oh, babe, you know so much.
I was a pilot once, you know.
Bubbles actually
She's also
talking
good with
Shade
pressure
right there.
points.
Anyways, you get the sense that you can certainly do this. It'll be easier the more points that you attach. It will take a longer time. The longer that the more that you want to do.
We only have 1 cable, or how many cables?
The other thing to think about too is the more that you have attached, the less that the ship will be moving, presumably when you're doing other things with it. So if the ship is like swinging around and Echo's taking evasive maneuvers and you're trying to
I can't
activate
use
it,
the ship or work on the
it
ship.
would be pretty tough. It would be hard. You could definitely
Whereas
still
if we were,
work
like
on it.
securely fastened and hauling it, I could probably get into the cockpit and start
Yeah.
working on it. Yeah.
So how many do we think we're willing to risk? Because this is risk versus reward, 100%.
What?
How many points are we willing to
we
try?
haven't even talked about that yet.
Wait, why can't you just go down, like, use the cable, go down into the cockpit, then the other 3 of us go down, attach it with points, and then you, Echo, are the getaway car?
We only have one. We only have the 1 cable.
No, but we can cut the cable, right?
Yeah, we can use, like, wrap it around. You can
can't
use
cut
the
the
whole
cable
thing.
because if you cut the cable, then the cable would not be able to take a starship.
We can't have a length, have multiple lengths of the same
How
cable.
do you
You don't have
propose
a
we
lot
cut
of it either.
Oh, I thought we had a lot of
I
it.
thought, I
You
don't,
have,
I don't,
we have,
I
I
don't
think,
remember how
90
much. I remember I originally got it, I
think it's
believe,
90.
in Akaton.
I think it's 90 feet.
90 feet.
So how far?
It was like 100 something, but I think we kept
We're just,
some
like,
of it
hitching.
in Siren.
So
Yeah,
what
I have
he's saying
90
is
as a
with
length
multiple
right now.
points, it makes it more stable as we're tolling it along. That Shade can do the things like cut the red wire without fucking it up,
Oh.
right? So like, the question
I
is,
think-
how many points can we do, and how many points are we willing to do?
I think Shade should just get in there and fly it out.
And so if you want to get the ship right above this one, you need about 15 feet of tether to make one. So
it gives us
90
enough
divided
to
by
make
6.
and it would take 15 feet to get one of you down as well. So if you're going to use that, you have the ability to make roughly like 6 of these, give or take.
Right.
But how do you cut carbon cable?
With a plasma knife.
You would take 20 and use your
Okay.
tools to do
And
so.
also, hypothetically, if you Boy Scout tie it in a certain way, you can
Just
kind of
use one length
use it
of
one and just have
cable
different
to
pressure
to
points.
hitch it like.
So if we do 4 points with 2 people tethering, doing 2 points each, the 2 people get a tether, and you try to get 2 points in before you're swarmed.
Me and Shade could do that because we both can fly.
Mm-hmm.
Ideally, we would have 4 points. 6 seems like potentially a bad move.
Yeah, that makes
It would
sense.
take much time.
So
2, and I worry
here's
that we
what I
will leave some of the
propose.
ship behind.
Echo and Gibbs stay on the shuttle. Keep us ready to leave as soon as we can. Spice and Bubs will follow me out.
Why would I go down there?
and why wouldn't I go down there?
You have no way of getting back on.
If I'm tethered, it
You
doesn't
can be-
matter.
You can be carried by Bubs, and you can offer assistance to both of us that will help hasten our tying.
Oh, the move action.
But you can only do that once per person per day.
Yeah, so
So
you
it's
don't
already
get it.
happened. So it has to be somebody else.
You can do it on me.
Right.
Spice, however, is familiar with the GPF vessels.
That is the other reason why. Spice knows where we will be able to hitch most effectively.
And I'm not gonna drop Spice. Like I honestly, like when we were doing our dancing moves, like I wouldn't like drop her when we did like a move or anything, you know.
So who's doing the double hitch?
Me and Bubbles.
Right. So there's four points we're trying to hit, 3 people, right? So somebody has to do an extra one.
Bubbles can do 2, because I have my ways of making him go faster.
Cool. I'm good with it.
Oh, yeah.
Spice puts the
Spice and Bubbles come back out in the bounty hunter outfits again.
Yeah.
A lot of leather for bounty hunters. The straps.
We can make him
Bubbles
come
is
fast. We
affixing.
can make him go fast.
While Bubbles is affixing his second tether,
Mm-hmm.
Shade and Spice can work on disengaging the countermeasures.
I will plan to enter the cockpit as soon as I've attached my tether. You two
I
should
think you should enter
evacuate.
the cockpit before you even attach a tether.
If the tether is attached, we can pull the ship without needing the ship to be active.
Yeah, that makes sense.
If Shade attempts to activate the ship while all 3 of you are on top of it, it could explode while you are on it.
Oh,
I will only attempt to activate the ship once everyone else has left.
well,
We'll
when
get
you
the
want to
ship.
do it... I'm confused why we're doing both a tether and a
Because
shutdown.
As soon
basically
as
the
we
danger's
land.
on the ground, right? As far as we're aware. So if we can get it off the ground, then the only danger we have to deal with is whatever the fuck's going on with
The
Shade.
self-destruct thing?
Yeah. So it's like, if we can kind of separate these 2 dangers, deal with them independently, it's a little easier.
Okay.
And
I
Shade will
follow.
just get a head start while working on it in case.
Right.
Because our other option is we try to distract these beasts or like deal with
Right.
whatever the big thing is while he's trying to do it, but then we're dealing with both of them at the same time and trying to get everyone back onto the shuttle and trying to escape and all this stuff, you know?
Okay.
It's all that.
Okay, so how did my shit drop distract anything?
So you tell the director to release the
Let's
septic
just
system
drop.
in the vacuum of space. You hear it disengage, just a little bit, just a tiny bit off camera.
I needed to be distracted.
Off camera.
I know.
In space. It's
That's
shown us how effective it is.
4D immersion.
And it just kind of floats around up there. I mean, you're not
I
getting
was
it back
opening
to
the
the
pull
planet.
of the asteroid's gravity and pull it towards the ground.
So
And
again, you guys are traveling. And this is not just a floating asteroid. This is a rogue planet hurtling through space at roughly 10,000 miles an hour.
So all of the wet paint just has shit stuck in it.
Ew,
So, like,
gross.
you lose it, and there is now a cloud of poop traveling 10,000 miles an hour
Yes!
roughly
Cloud of poop!
next to you.
Behind.
Yeah,
Love it.
like alongside.
Gross.
And so, that's going to be really interesting in terms of dynamics once you leave.
Okay. No regrets.
Good thing we're
I
not
also don't
to the
regret.
Bavarian.
That said,
Regurt.
you have empty septic systems.
Okay. So we have a plan. We have the bait. If something big comes out, we'll deal with it, and I'll reel you guys back in.
Fully engaged.
And I pee in this corner.
Hey,
Spice jumps onto Bubbles' back.
I tether you all. Oh, hold on. We take 20, cut the rope, 6 pieces.
Okay.
I'm gonna 4. Yeah.
No, because 2 tethers.
I don't understand.
4 tethers. 4
4 tethers for the ship. 2 tethers for
Yeah, but
2 people.
The 2 people are going down.
2
and then
people
who's up
don't
first? He
need
can fly.
tethers.
Right.
He can fly.
So 1 tether.
4
And at this,
tethers.
you hear the director over your communicators go, "Scanners are reading a large life form slowly approaching."
Can scanners?
Approaching
outline of-
Directive 0?
Approaching the ship's location.
Can I look from the direction
We
of which
should
the large
probably-
thing is going?
Sure.
Begin our plan.
With your perception check from previously, Gibbs, you can see this no problem because it's huge. Bigger than your shuttle, in fact. Not quite as large as the Directive 0, but definitely close. It closely resembles almost a large insectoid turtle. You can see massive kind of carapace-like shell on its back. The face is very much like a snapping turtle, yawning open with huge, long teeth. And as it like steps forwards, you can see probably about 30 feet long on its back, what looks like a huge proboscis. And you recognize that is not a proboscis. That is probably a biological cannon of some kind.
No.
Closer
It's
to the scale.
Blastoise.
Close. It is not unlike a on all 4 legs, red and cream-colored Blastoise that is just
I take out my
Shiny
Pokeball.
Blastoise is
slowly
coming.
approaching.
Echo
The
has like
trajectory?
opened the back
How long do we
door
have?
and like begun like setting the emergency lights to go like out the back door, like go, go, go.
So, the way that this works. give me
Oh,
just one
boy.
second.
I'm gonna
We're
tether
moving
you.
these guys because they left, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so, yeah, they're
Cool.
like they're still beneath the surface. They're
I'm
they're
glad you
possible
heard
at the
that.
moment.
Yeah.
So I cut 5 pieces out of the rope.
Fine.
Done.
With me.
Cool.
So, the way that this is going to work, you would imagine that there is 2 rounds. There was 10 at first, but you guys took 20. You guys took some time to cut this up. You have 2 rounds until this creature is within range, where that very large weapon is likely able to take starship cannon style shots against you guys. So, starting with Shade and going around the table, what are you doing with your first round?
Where are we physically right now?
So, at
Echo
the moment-
positioned you directly above.
Oh, so we're like
right above, yeah.
like there. Okay, cool. Dropping down, tethering. I don't know. Does the tethering count as an action?
So attaching a tether as a point, yeah, it's not a roll. I would say you could do it as a swift action, and then you could do another as an action.
I was gonna drop down, attach a tether, get into the cockpit, and like, if that's all I can do for the first turn, then that's all I can do.
So you can drop down, no problem. As you drop down with the tether, you can see this huge creature off in the distance, like slowly approaching. You were going down, you can see the cannon peeking out even as like the rocks come up and you land on the ship. You see it just slowly inching forwards. But no problem, you can land, and with that tether in hand, magnetized such that it is, you can just clamp it down, and it little bits of dust scatter away. Now, the ship, this is a military ship, and so you'd imagine it's locked.
Right.
So what are you doing to deal with that?
If there's a computer lock, then I will use my exocortex to
Make a computer
hack and bypass that. If there's a physical lock, I will try to
computer's lock.
lock pick it. Ooh, that's gonna be plus so 26.
26. With a 26, just barely by 1 do you overcome the system, and only because it is damaged. You almost failed it by 4. As this overrides, the locking mechanism does not quite unleash, but you are able to pull it open, and this whole cockpit just down, wide enough for you to crawl in. You can see on the inside of this, there are a number of like personal items up on the dashboard. There is a GPF regulation bag that is open, a number of medical supplies that have been scattered out. And so this person dressed a wound within this space before coming outside. You can see open on the dashboard, and everything is as it should be. There's no huge missing pieces, but you do see that there is an igniter missing from this dashboard. That would make this a very quick repair. If you had that, right away.
Can I use my action to search for it?
Make a perception check. Bubble, start thinking about what you're doing.
Ooh.
Wouldn't it be Spice next?
No, we're going around
Just
the
going
table.
around the table.
Oh.
33. With the 33, you look around. You see elements of bandages. You see a tourniquet. You can see, actually, glued to the dashboard, the drow equivalent of one of those little kind of hula girls. It is a number of different stars on a single axis that all move around a point that is dark in the middle.
Okay.
But
neat.
you can see all of this kind of laid out. There's no igniter, and your eyes look up, and you can see again this kind of cannon much closer, and then your eyes go down, and you see the corpse that Gibbs was touching. And if somebody took the keys out, they probably took it with them.
Free action. The ignition is likely in the corpse.
But that is your turn, Shade. Bubbles.
Ooh.
Which direction is the tunnel monster coming from?
The big one?
Yeah.
From my direction.
Okay, and the corpse fell this way?
No, the corpse is right here.
Right there. Yeah.
Okay. Can I free action? How far is away the director anyways in the ship? How far did we travel from?
A good distance.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay, forget
that's
that.
yeah.
Then I am, because my turn is dependent on Spice casting me having an extra.
You can delay your turn.
I'm going to delay my turn for when she does that,
Okay.
and then my turn will be.
Don't worry about it. We're just delaying your turn. Echo.
Does Echo get the sense that if they were to fire the ship's guns, that it would cause instability for the people below?
Yes.
Okay. Just want to be sure.
Yeah. For
Sometimes
free,
they're
for free, you have an idea.
Oh, no.
Because
we
you remember when you
died.
fired it, the ship bucked a little bit.
Right.
So yeah, for sure.
Okay, cool. So the stabilizers are not sufficient. Echo is going to just kind of like maintain a watch on the Super Turtle Man.
Okay.
Not a sponsor.
And
The
kind of try to like.
mutated Shinobi turtle.
Well, chief mate thing. Echo's gonna spend a resolve point for a targeting aid.
Okay.
Not on the actual monster, but for like a range of rock nearish by
Okay.
to like distract.
Impede.
Okay.
Like cover whatever the starship equivalent of covering fire is,
Pretty much.
or harrying fire, whatever it is.
So whatever the starship tier of cliffs is.
Okay. I mean, because it's
64.
distracting it, I'm kind of using its
Okay.
CR as a starship tier.
So that is a
Oh,
That's the music.
Dawn.
34.
34.
Yes.
It's actually kind of close.
Yeah.
But that's enough.
Nice.
And it's hard because as you try to target it, it seems like the creature almost senses it. Your vision kind of shifts around it and you realize, not shifts, it just released some kind of spores, almost like chafe, expecting some kind of a lock on, but you're not locking on the creature. You're locking on rocks nearby. And you fire this ship and it launches, or wait, sorry, you're not firing
targeting
yet.
aid.
You're
I
targeting.
just want to get a good target so that on the next round. when
You are
people
locked on.
Yeah.
You are locked on even through the spores that this creature releases. You are locked on. So that is your turn, Echo?
Yes.
Alrighty. That brings us to Spice. And back to Bubbles.
Spice just like whispers in Bubbles' ear, like, "You better fucking hurry up! I see that worm coming." Maybe like smacks his ass or something, so he gets hurry.
Sure.
And then with the rest of my move action, I'm gonna tether.
Okay. So you drop down
Manual
and taking the magnetic tether, you just adhere it onto the hull.
So we have 3 now?
You have 2, I believe.
Two,
Because
didn't
Bubs
take a
hasn't taken his
Oh,
2.
right, okay.
Yeah.
So now we go back to Bubs.
Yep.
Bubbles, you get a smack on your ass. You feel hurried. What do you want to do?
I'm gonna do what the plan is. I'm gonna
Okay.
cable 2.
You drop down with the cables. You have 2 of these things in your hands.
Yep.
And as you land, you stretch as wide as you can. And one of them gets pulled out from either hand, and they woof onto the magnetic points. Just a little out of your grasp, but no problem. You're able to catch yourself onto the ship. Anything else?
Can I do anything else?
I believe you have
Yeah, you have.
move, action. You have a swift action.
You have a
Well, my
second.
Well,
movie,
wouldn't
because
it
it's
be
very
swift
similar.
action and then extra move action? So
You could
Yeah,
get
but
back
action.
on. Couldn't you? Get
Yeah.
back on?
use your move action to get us back on the ship.
Yeah.
Okay, then I'll do that.
Okay.
I miscounted it.
Who? And so you're grabbing
Because
Spice.
Because you have your
Yeah.
second move action.
You grab onto Spice, and you, using that hurry,
Yeah,
your butt is a little
the
sore, but
second.
it's not necessarily in a bad way. You hurry up now with those 3 tethers attached. That is your turn. That brings us to Gibbs.
So
Four
no.
tethers.
4. There's
Four
4
tethers.
now.
4, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, my math got messed up on this.
I can't help him with the drow problem.
It's 2 turns.
But Shade's on his own. Can I spend a resolve point to do Mystic Cloud and obscure this spaceship from the monster you got?
You can. That may have a negative impact on what's going on right beneath you.
Then I will times edge the monster.
Okay.
Does that
Going
would I
from one
not?
to the other.
Because we were
Very, very
distracting
extreme.
it
What is the range on
with
times
other
edge?
things.
Is it within 120 feet?
I don't think so.
actually
No.
Oh, then I
Because
wouldn't
then
do
it would be
it.
within
Draw its
its own-
fire.
then it would-
It's
Oh,
gonna
okay,
destroy
okay, okay.
us.
So yeah, not quite yet. You do imagine
Okay.
at the very end of its turn. Well, actually, its range is significantly farther than times edge.
Oh, okay. Then never mind.
So yeah. Anything else, Gibbs?
I'll hold my turn and cheer on Shade.
Okay. There is no more turn to hold because we're going right back to Shade right now.
Okay.
No worries. So Shade, second turn, this creature, you feel now the shudder of the ground beneath. You can see on the other side of this thing, maybe like 400 or 500 feet away. This creature is pretty close.
So I have a class feature
Okay.
called Miracle Worker.
Okay. Sounds very relevant to right now.
The text of which says, I can restore a number of hull points equal to the starship's base frame HP increment. If this raises the ship's HP over a multiple of its critical threshold, you can repair critical damage to one system per multiple, reducing its severity by 1 step. I don't know if that would help me right now, but I would like to try to fix the ignition without the igniter.
Hot wire.
Yeah.
So as an action, you are going to do what you just said. You're going to use your Miracle Worker
Miracle Worker is a move action.
move action. So as a move action, that's what you're going to do.
Yes, and then as an action, I would like to make another check if I can't do this shit right now.
So as a move action, you dig into the very, very basic subroutines that are within your kind of Android memory, really more than memory, into the very operating system itself. This is like the stuff that you should be able to do in your sleep. And sure enough, the exocortex kicks on, taking over the majority of this task. And I would say with that, there is a couple of quick and then you see very quick a 12-second timer begin on the dashboard.
Cool. Gonna use my exocortex to try and disable that.
Okay.
And then if that fails, I'm gonna use my action to try and disable it manually.
So for what it's worth, you do see on the dashboard the lights come up. Do you read Drow?
Bitch, I should be in this
I
fucking
read
class.
Drow.
I don't
Alright.
think
Wait,
so.
why do I read Drow?
I don't know, but I know that you do.
I do.
Yeah.
No, I don't even speak common.
No.
I have 0 languages. I don't know how that works.
Man, so you
I'm
have
just using
no idea.
binary.
No idea what's going on here. Not even binary because he didn't speak that.
beep, boop, up.
This is really no idea what the ship does, what it can do. It seems pretty fast. It doesn't seem super durable, but it almost certainly has at least one weapon. And that's pretty much what you could find.
Cool.
Maybe even 2. But you look down at this. It is now working. It seems to be functional.
Can I disable the self-destruct?
So so far you've used move action. So for your exocortex,
I've just used my move action. Miracle Worker.
Move
action.
Ship starts. Yes. Okay. So yeah, go ahead and use an action. Make a computer's check.
Exocortex action.
Yeah.
It's a 1.
6 seconds. Half of the time is instantly drained, and you imagine that.
Don't want to do it again, but I gotta do it again.
We're so close to this ship.
That's totally cocked.
We gotta kill everybody.
No, I'm not, because that is much better. That is a 37.
With a 37,
Fine, Zoe.
there is a brief moment where you feel yourself falter and you almost trip the self-destruct. You almost just instantly annihilate not just yourself, but likely everybody that is within. I mean, the people aboard the ship may have survived, but even that's kind of dicey. This is a military-grade weapon, and any ammunition aboard would have cooked off as well. But you get into the system. You override the security, and you find that you have access, though not root access, you have access to navigation and to piloting. You can see additional nodes for weapons. You can see additional you see 4 additional nodes. No idea what they're for. You can't read.
Illiterate.
Can I free action, like, put my visuals up for Spice and the rest of the crew knowing
At the range
one
that
of
you're at,
them-
I think you can probably do that. It's more of a communicator call, but yeah, no problem.
Yeah, I mean, but I have the
Yeah,
exocortex, like, my vision thing.
We're within like 30 feet.
Yeah, you can definitely see.
So I'm gonna, like, broadcast what I'm seeing in the cockpit now.
Sure, no problem. So that is your turn. You have this going. Bubbles. You are now back aboard the ship. You can see shades powering up the craft, the thrusters kind of kick into life. What are you doing?
I think I'm going to just trigger my turn in case something happens. If like Shade can't get the ship out or something, I'll fly out. But
Okay.
it seems like we got it.
No problem. You get ready. You crouch. You're bent at the knees.
Yeah.
That is your turn, Bubbles. Echo. You are locked on.
Does Echo know that the ship has been activated?
Oh yeah, because
I
instantly,
broadcast
not
to
only does
everyone.
that happen, but on the shuttle's like information, there is a tendon slicer interceptor that just blinks into life, and so you imagine that is exactly what this is. You can see there is a brief kind of chime as 2 twin-linked cannons kind of briefly, passively pick up the ship, but yeah, it's definitely active.
Echo's gonna try and start hauling up.
Okay.
Their main goal was not to bring down a space turtle. It was
Make
to
a
keep the
piloting
ship.
check. Make a piloting check.
Come on, big money, big money, big money.
Shush. When we say that, it doesn't.
But when we
No
say
money, I'm
that,
broke.
Yeah, I'm poor.
26.
26.
Oh, fine.
With a 26
Maybe.
hooked into this ship and using this makeshift series of tethers, it's not the easiest thing to do. You do haul it free, and the ship takes a little bit of damage as you do so, scraping it along elements of rocks. The elements of crates that have been piled around it are just bludgeoned off of the cliff and fall down. One of them cracks open and just spills supplies out in the ground. But the ship does come free. And Shade, you're able to kind of tap the thrusters to keep it even as it does so. So you're not even like coming out at a weird angle. You can you're ready to take off on this next turn. You have the ship out of the rock. It is free. You are almost out of this predicament. Anything else, Echo?
If Echo can, they want to start like tugging away and just like get away.
Freeing it from the rock is really like the thing that you're doing here.
Yeah.
But yeah, for flavor, you begin to move. Spice, what would you like to do, if anything?
I think Spice sees, the mound of the Blastoise approaching, and I feel like because she's seeing the drow, she's going to free action, read the drow out loud so Shade understands it.
Make a perception check, because it's, I mean, you're seeing it like through a screen.
Oh
so it's
no,
kinda
Spice never learned how to read either.
We're about to find out.
Great. What
I
is it?
don't like that reaction.
Nice, your perception's good.
I don't even see it.
Oh, okay.
Maybe it's just that Spice hasn't gotten her eyes checked
23.
lately.
23?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not bad. So instead of just reading all the numbers on the speedometer, you also read that there is a pulse black core that is at full power and ready to go. You can see that there are short range weapons. There's ablative armor on this craft. The armor itself is nanocarbon plate, and so it's pretty substantially built. It's built to deflect damage. That being said, you can read that this craft only has 35 health, and so it sure has to deflect that damage because it's not a lot that it can take. It is. It's definitely a glass cannon. It also has twin-linked chain cannons, a pair of them on the front.
Okay, so Spice is like twin link cannons, but she's also, as she's saying it, I think Shade would be able to understand the panic in her voice and understand that I am giving you hurry again.
And you also understand that those 4 nodes, kind of deceptive. They're not nodes. Those are transponders. And they correlate to 4 additional ships that seem to be parked elsewhere on the surface of this
So
planet.
Spice is like, you've never heard her speak so fast because she's like downloading all of this information. She's like out of like
Just
one
like
eye
Shade.
reading out of the other eye,
Just like
watching
Shade.
Blastoise. Yeah. Like,
And it is like,
yeah.
you can
So
feel it
the
even through
panic in her
tether.
voice is she's moving fast, and that's how you get the extra move action.
And that is your turn, Spice. And as we get over
I
to
gotta
Gibbs,
hustle.
you can see this creature now, not quite the whole thing, but the face now is peeking around the corner. I mean, it's getting close. And you imagine it's going to probably get at least 1 shot off on you guys as you leave. But unless there's anything that you can do. What you doing, Gibbs?
What you doing?
At the monster.
Free action, no problem. That brings us to the top of the round.
No.
You see this thing almost 400 feet away, but has a clear line of sight on this ship dangling from this series of tethers and your shuttle as well. You see the very tip of this begins to smoke. And there is this glowing, almost toxic looking radioactive stuff that, like a volcano that just kind of spurts for a second before, and it goes out about 20 feet and then launches as a cannon. And it is going to take a starship attack against you.
No.
But we're all in starships, so
Okay. This is against the shuttle. This is going to be a 28 against your rear armor.
I don't have the stats for the ship.
Oh, I have the stats for the ship. Okay,
you
hang
have
on.
the stats.
Leaving the Swarm Annihilator. Going to the thing. Give me one second.
Swarm Annihilator.
So it's a good guy because it's gonna annihilate the swarm?
Yeah, it's
The
got a
enemy of
swarm
my
of,
enemy is my friend?
So this particular thing, give me 1 second here. Takes a second for the starship to load. I am looking for armor. Where is my armor?
Swarm Annihilator.
The
Now's the
mark
time for us to find
of
out we don't have
armor
any.
is the equivalent of the bonus that it grants.
I thought it was the same ship as the other one that we got from before we had me.
No. Nope.
No, this is me. Me ship is a little bit different.
Because it's like a transport shuttle. For
Okay, so that is going to be a hit. You have 45 health on this shuttle. You are taking
Oh my god, we ate TPK right now.
pizza dice.
All
It
of
takes
us.
the armor and the shields off and then hits the HP, but there's a critical threshold for...
Oh, you do have shields.
Yeah, we do.
Very
Yeah,
nice.
we do have
You have
shields.
good shields.
Yeah.
Your rear shields, aft, such as they are, is 12, which is good because you take 34 points of damage.
Which goes down to...
The shields ripped away for 12 of that, which means you are taking a total of 22 points of hull damage. That is above the critical threshold. You do not immediately lose systems. Things do not immediately go out. Power does flicker. You have taken a good amount of damage, like close to half, but you are still airborne and still airworthy. And you can see the smoke begins to rise again. There is a little of stuff that lands about 5 feet away, but that is its turn. Shade. You are still tethered to this shuttle. But what are you doing? You see this shot fly overhead. It hits the shuttle, which rocks, and your ship rocks alongside it. You can see bits of the metal, no longer blue, just the straight paint, or just the straight steel underneath the paint, and even that is beginning to sizzle and burn away. But what do you want to do?
Would I be able to untether the ship with some sort of maneuver?
Yeah.
Why would you want to do that?
Because now that I'm operational, we can split up and not.
Could shoot it.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna try to like split away.
Why?
Because this ship is gonna be faster and more capable of getting away. We need to buy time for the shuttle.
So what are you doing?
Okay.
I want to split off from the tethers and try to draw away this creature's attention by basically making an evasive
Sounds like an excuse.
maneuver, I think is.
So you're trying to do it such using mechanical advantage to just snap the tethers?
Yeah, like doing a barrel roll basically or something.
Make a piloting check.
Yeah, it turns out I actually have
Right, you got your
I am the captain now.
That's
Fuck you guys.
magnetized.
Nice.
Yeah, it
Get
like
handed on the
magnetized
magnet,
to the-
dice
yeah.
of metal. I get it.
So that's piloting.
Yeah.
36.
A 36. With a 36, you press, and you're imagining it's going to be like the Directive Zero or like some other starship. This is perfect maneuverability, and this has speed 8. And so as you tap this thing, it. Echo, can you make a piloting check, please? The tethers snap, but the inertia from this movement, it can definitely do bad things to your shuttle.
So
if
I
you're
got
not
a
careful.
plus. So it can go +9 with me.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like a
32.
crown.
32, your entire ship begins to throw red lights and chimes go off, and you can hear the dun, dun, dun as you begin to lose altitude, but you pull up hard and using every single element of this and using these snapped bits of tethers and the momentum that would generate almost to your advantage, you swirl around and are able to maintain your heading. You're able to stay and not dip your ship into the actual stones.
If someone could patch and repair some of the ship systems, that would be much appreciated.
You break away, and you can move. You can get past that creature in this single move because this thing hauls.
Cool. So I'm gonna do. I think it's a flyby.
Sure,
Is
yeah.
the attack.
Make your attack roll.
I don't have the stats for this ship, so
No
I'm gonna
problem.
roll, and I'll let you know.
We were
That's
joking. We know he's not even.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh.
With a natural 1, it feels amazing. You accelerate. You are jammed back into this seat. All these little things like roll around this black hole, and then you pull the trigger, and you feel underneath the ship. It is a hum as these 2 twin chain cannons like roar to life, and you are about to just unleash a volley, and then they jam, and the jam itself is so powerful it almost buckles your ship. These are powerful weapons. They deal something like I'm gonna say it's some stupid amount of damage.
Shade gets in the seat.
12 d4. However, it jams, and you are unable to fire. You have to kind of pull up and away as you overshoot this creature.
all right. I've lost the action economy here because I've moved the ship.
You have
and
2
I've
move
shot them.
actions.
Oh, okay. So what counts as a move action in a starship?
So really,
guess.
you've kind of done what you can do at this point.
could I use the second move action to do like evasive maneuver?
You don't need to. You're flying very quickly in this, and this creature cannot turn anywhere.
I guess
near
I'm
you. You
gonna,
would need to
like-
fly into its path.
Yeah,
to
I
get
guess
hit.
I'm just like strafing around it like a gadfly
Sure,
or
no
something to
problem.
try and draw its attention from
strafe
the
around
shuttle,
it.
and then free action. to be
Bubbles.
like, get
The
out
ship
of there.
is buckled by this shot, and I mean, red lights are going off. Shade breaks away, which almost spins the whole ship around. Echo barely keeps it up. But what are you doing?
Our door is closed on this shuttle, correct?
Correct.
Okay. It's not really much I can do. I think I'll just pass my turn.
Alrighty, Echo, what do you want to do? You are in the controls, but this ship is taking damage.
Echo's just trying to get the flick out of here.
So just full-on acceleration?
Full-on acceleration. Get out.
You push the throttle down. For those of you not buckled in, you slam into the back, into the bulkheads. You were all pushed into the back. But no, please don't break my guys. There's too many already broken. You explode out and into the darkness of space away from this planet. And you would imagine far enough away that a land-based weapon is not going to get you. Probably.
Oh, yeah.
All of you aboard the ship are safe. Shade. As you are still like overflying this, you can kind of list around. Are you taking another pass against this creature?
Seeing that the shuttle has gotten out of range, I'm gonna leave.
Okay, no problem. And so, though the cannons are jammed, you accelerate into the darkness, and so quick is the ship, this has no chance of turning this cannon to bear. This is an artillery weapon. Can't hit a moving ship very well.
Hard to hit a moving target.
The two of you make your way off and into darkness, and you are out of initiative, out of combat, out of whatever you want to call that.
Bye,
puzzle.
Blastoise. Yeah,
Out of the
puzzle.
We solved the
made it.
puzzle. We got the ship.
And you do. I'll print it out. I had it, but I lost the printed version.
I'm
This
making
is-
the stat box in Hephaestus.
Oh,
If you
nice.
could send me
Oh.
Oh, I have one
PDF.
already. Oh yeah. Okay. Oh yeah. I gotta send you the code, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Send us the.
This is a Tendon Slicer Interceptor. It is a Tier 5 craft. Speed 8. Perfect maneuverability. Turn 0. This was crafted by the Morzipsy Manufacturing Yard. It has a twin-link chain cannons mounted on the front. And ablative armor. It has what are called light shields, which are primarily pushed forward at the moment, although you can rebalance them. And yeah, you have a fighter ship. And on it, Shade, you can notice that there are these 4 points, and with a little bit more time, you see that they correspond to a map, not to nodes on a computer.
Oh, okay. So the transponders are still active, and these are like the signals being broadcast?
It seems like there's one SOS being broadcast, and the transponder proper are off.
Gotcha. So the SOS was that one.
Yeah.
And then the other transponders are physically in this ship, but off.
Correct.
Okay. So
And
they've been removed.
this, when you are in the ship and the ship is on, you can pick up the other 4 that are linked to it. And so these craft probably all functioned as a squadron,
Right.
and are kind of slaved together in certain systems. They probably share targeting data. There's a couple other things about them.
Okay, cool.
But the real question is, how many cup holders does it have?
0.
He was right. It was useful information.
needs more cup holders.
Needs more cup holders. No ashtray for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, right? We're gonna ash just like in your lap.
I'll just open the window.
Great. Love
Your
that
old cigarette.
for Starship.
So now in the darkness of space, all of you find yourselves with at least one craft. It's pretty easy to find the rest, but you don't really know what kind of condition they're in. What do you want to do?
Return to the director.
Okay, no problem.
Can we fit this in our cargo bay? Probably not.
It can be slaved to the directive 0.
And so it's basically a gravity tether.
It's
and
like Bluetooth connection.
if you ask the director, it's a very, very small silvery disc that you can place in the cargo hold or any place really within another craft, and it will keep it roughly 10 feet behind your ship.
Unless you drop Wi-Fi and then
Yeah.
Like a
it's
shark with like the little.
Then it just gets shot into the drift. Random
lost
place.
connection.
Bye.
Goodbye. But yeah, so you have one of these things, and if you want, you can make your way back to the director, no problem. It's decently far, but not like a long distance to travel in ship time. Probably about 5 minutes you can make your way back to the director, no problem.
So you share all the. We can now get the transponder data or whatever.
Yeah, I would probably do like a debrief once we've settled in and,
So can you get like
reconvened.
any information about like battery life or anything from the transponder? Like, is there any additional information you can get?
They're all reading as active.
All the ships are currently active. It should be relatively simple to locate them. However, there's high likelihood that they will be in a similar situation as the one that we've found.
What's the closest one?
Shade, make an engineering check. You look down at the information. You don't really read Drow, and so even with Spice's help, it's kind of hard to get a good sense for what's really happening behind all this.
Math. 38.
38, but not too hard.
Yeah, Spice is a great translator. Turns
Spice
out.
is spitting.
I know
fire.
Drow now.
She starts rapping.
I think I understand the entire Drow
Does
language.
the entire manual, but in like a sing-song form.
Yep.
The other thing is that you really notice is there is no damage to these ships. Not only is there no damage, though they've had their igniters removed in the same way as this one has, they don't have SOSs up, and they're all parked in roughly a semicircle, and so they seem to be much more intentionally placed, unless they crashed in the most coincidental pattern of all time. And Spice, you would know that this is a coincidental pattern set up to defend something. They are pointed out, and so make a cultures check.
Oh, I see.
Take a +6 conditional
I see
modifier.
what's going on.
How
so
big
they're
is the
like
semicircle?
fanning out. They're probably butt to butt, right? Like a caravan. They're doing like
so
a caravan
that's
thing.
30. Dirty 30.
Nice.
Flirty 30.
Flirty 30.
You know exactly what's happening here, and you're putting together information that you can't even really see, but you know is there. When you have ships pointed like this, it is because they're defending a high value asset, and they are kind of butt to butt like this, kind of pointed out in a semicircle, and so there must be something either parked or in the middle that is of interest or of import. If somebody at the level of like admiral was wounded, this might be how you kind of park to defend them. But I mean, whatever it is important. This is like because you're risking 4 starships to defend whatever it is.
Okay.
This is millions of credits worth of starships.
Right, and like millions of, or like at least, what, 4, that's 8 lives.
Yeah.
Do you share that?
Yeah. In a rap form. She raps it.
I speak Drow now, so.
And they're in a semicircle to defend high value item.
Yeah. Admiral rhymes with
Cat
thing.
What is the likelihood that what they were defending is still there?
Probably depends on what they're defending.
Yeah, we're not
from.
close enough to fucking see that yet. I don't know.
But if they're not giving off SOS beacons, maybe it's because the people are dead and they couldn't do it.
Yeah, sounds
Ships are
like
intact. Seems like.
whatever they were defending has since been removed, probably.
Why don't we do a flyby? We can go look at it.
Do we have a location now?
You do?
How far is it from the director? Or from Directive Zero?
10 minutes. I mean, it would have been 5 minutes away. You know, it's just kind of the opposite direction if you had
It's
skimmed
kinda
along
like
the planet.
Dupe instead of just dupe.
Yeah.
While we're like doing this, I'm gonna have the repair drone fix the shuttle
Okay.
hull
No
that took
problem.
damage.
You get the repair drone kind of into the shuttle, and the shuttle is like melting in places. This shot, biological, and has become almost like enzymes that eat away at metal and paint and have kind of dug away. It has, as you kind of like look at it and it begins to do repairs, it falls away like dead skin almost. And just becomes like this kind of skin flaky powder around, no longer metal. It just basically like desiccated it, and there's no metal at all.
Can I feed that to my jar?
Yeah, I was literally gonna say Spice sweeps up a little bit and gives it to Gibbs.
It tingles a little.
Your jar reacts pretty weirdly to it. It doesn't seem to enjoy it.
Oh.
As you put it in, it kind of floats on the surface, and almost nothing floats. Almost all of it just burns up. And then reluctantly, it kind of in, but it's slow. It like slowly
Who let
dissolves.
this guy in?
I feed it a few sandwiches just to like make
And those,
it feel
like,
better. Yeah.
Instantly.
Those
But
are just-
those
those are
things are
Just
still kind of
Pepto-Bismol
dissolving.
for the
It's like, oh, you didn't like that? Sorry, I'm learning.
Here's a couple sandwiches.
Oh, your tummy hurts?
Here, eat 3
Here's a
large
meatball sub.
Oh god.
Literally the worst thing for your tummy. Anyways.
So what are you doing? You making your flyby?
Yeah, send it.
Is the shuttle... How long is it going to take for the shuttle to be repaired? Because I don't think we should send the shuttle out
You
again.
probably don't want to send the shuttle out. Taking another hit like that will total your shuttle.
Let's go on our new GPF fucking
Does
flyer.
this... Is this one 2 people seated?
It's one person.
One person.
You can physically put 2 people in the
I'm
cockpit,
gonna just-
but you're taking minuses
Ooh, I'm
to your
gonna
piloting
come.
checks.
Can I fit?
Gibbs can fit without
Gonna-
taking a minus.
I
It's
have
just
I fit in the cup holder.
has not
just a
left,
emotional
Doesn't
has
Yeah,
not
it is.
left the cockpit
because there's
yet.
no cup holder, I fit.
You would have to spacewalk to get to it.
Oh shit! Yeah, we're in separate shits.
So I'm just gonna
I thought you came on board.
no, because this ship
won't
can't
fit on board
Yeah.
with the shuttle.
Oh,
Yeah.
right,
You
right,
could,
right.
so you can basically choose either the fighter or the shuttle. The shuttle being repaired needs to be in the bay.
Yeah. So I'm gonna like calm to everyone and say, I'm going to go and do quick reconnaissance. I will not engage. I will be back as soon as possible, just to find out the location.
Okay.
If it does engage, we better plan a bridal
Oh, yes,
shower.
Captain.
You get into this craft again.
And I'm just scooting down, trying to get a sense of what the fuck's going on.
You disengage
and-
the tether and you just off very quick and into the darkness. And you make your way across and back to the planet. It's pretty easy to do. You've gone this route before. You're traveling alongside the planet, and so you can catch back up easily enough. And you go around the backside, kind of keeping to the shadowy part, not hitting where the light is falling from whatever star is nearest by. And you make your way around to where this semicircle of transponders are. And it's within a very large cave. You can see large enough that you can fly the ship in no problem. I mean, all 4 of these ships are within, and there is ample space. And as you get close to the mouth, I assume that you're not going in,
Not gonna go into the spooky cave.
but the lights mounted on the front of your starcraft do kind of illuminate these 4 ships that are all lined up in a circle pointing outwards. And you can see beyond them of not drow design, but Lashunta design. A very large craft, roughly the size of the Director. You can see much more circular. There are many antennae kind of all over it, although lots of scratch marks along the outside. You can see a part around the bottom that has been busted open, and there is twisted metal out the side. You do see signs of these same insectoid creatures all in the dirt around it, but nothing immediately visible at this time.
I'm gonna broadcast what I'm seeing to everyone on the ship. And do I recognize this Lashunta vessel? Like, is it a diplomatic ship or something? Like the way
You
that
can
it's
read along the side the name, but
presented.
you don't. It make a
because I can use the cultures -5 to
Yeah,
identify
go for it.
He died
ship makes and
last
models.
episode.
go for it. name
It's the
stands out,
director's
though.
What's
sister.
the name say?
It's the director's sister. Yeah, the director's sister.
What's the
is
name
That's the
say?
names.
Directive sister.
My money's on that.
Dirty 20 -5 to the DC.
Okay. You have no idea. You said it was 30?
20.
Sorry, dirty 20 -5
Dirty
to
20.
the
Gotcha.
-5 to the
So it's
DC.
like-
You've never heard of
5.
this ship, but you've heard of Spice. And you imagine that this ship that is called the Deer Spice
It's your dad.
is maybe in some way related to your crewmate.
It's your dad.
But because it is
fucking hope
9:45, this is where we're going to end for the
It's
evening.
your mom. Why
you
would
for
it be
joining
called
us
Deer
for
Spice?
this
Because you're love.
Session of Mosaic Team 5. We'll be back next week.
It's
If you
Julian.
can't wait that long, please join us tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for a little D&D. It's going to be a very interesting session. But if you can't wait that
Oh
long,
my god,
please
what do you
stay
mean
safe.
Deer
We'll
Spice?
see you next week.
Pew
Bye.
pew.
He is Bae's boyfriend, I guess.
It's